Hello everyone, welcome to MinusOneCHarisma, the second best Dungeons & Dragons stream on the internet, and welcome to our Tuesday night Aventide homebrew campaign. And here are all of our players. Haha, I didn't mess it up this time, I mess it up every week. Wow, Daye, what are you eating? What is that?
Hello.
It's a vegan choprito bowl from Chop Stop, and it's delicious.
Choprito. Nice.
Okay.
Everything in food in LA I feel like has become a pun. Everything. Some weird kind of like mix pun of.
Also, I don't have my
foods
dice
and
tower. I just realized.
Oh.
Yeah, play with
Did I
that.
show you
there
guys
you
my new dice tower?
Yeah.
I think we
yeah.
should show. I think
Give me a slow scroll on that, Cullen.
Okay, so
Yes.
here's
Slow scroll.
E. There's a fan above it, so it's tough. So this is where it ends, and then it kind of comes down.
Oh man, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
I forgot how long it is. This is crazy. Wow, that is insane.
What is that?
it's
And that's
for-
it sitting on the floor.
You think
Dice
it's a
tower.
lamp?
Stove exhaust.
And when do you use that dice tower?
Exclusively for death saves.
It takes 7 minutes for the dice to fall
That's
through.
it.
Exclusively
It
for
takes-
death saves,
It
folks.
takes like 5-6 seconds to go down.
Oh,
Listen,
put
I
one
need
in.
to put mine together, so.
Put a dice in. Let's see what we get. What's the first death save?
Okay, I doubt you'll be able to hear it, but I'm dropping it now. There we go.
I can kind of hear it.
That's nice.
Ooh, that's a 5.
Ooh,
That's not great.
Oh,
It's
That's
guys.
mean. It's mean.
A lot of
trust.
rolling around to get that 5.
Trust just died.
Hey! Stop killing me! What the hell?
And we'll see you guys in a second. Play some D&D.
D&D.
Do you have what it takes to be a ladies' man? Are you bold? Are you strong? Does your moral compass point true? If yes, then maybe, just maybe, you were born to be a ladies' man, protector and defender of our great city, Caravella Town. The journey into our elite ranks is paved in the blood, sweat, and only the tears of our enemies. A ladies' man never cries unless it is the eve of one's offspring's birth, and even then only once. Armed with the Lady Mayan, our shield, and resolve, our sword, supplemented by metal weapons and armor, of course, none that walk the path of chaos can hope to survive long. Intimidated? I am not surprised. Muscles. A ladies' man develops giant muscles to go with their quick wit and keen senses. Secret muscle building techniques left by our goddess, the Lady Mayan, will have you running faster than a horse, stronger than a horse. By the goddess, you'll be lifting horses by the time we're done with you. So if you think you have the grit and a shakeless faith in the rule of law, then you just might have what it takes to be a ladies' man.
All right. Heavy shadows blanket you as you crane your neck to see the guards of the city line the ramparts with keen eyes and even more keen arrows. The road here with the smell of dirt kicked up by dozens of carts you've seen entering and exiting the city. As you cross the precipice into the city, you feel the dirt road hardening, mixing with like a dark gravel stone, which eventually gives way to a sturdy cobblestone. And that's when a decorated guard wearing a brightly colored tabard over a shining chainmail approaches with a large tome in his left hand. He raises an ink-stained leather glove hand to halt your progress into the city. There's a long, pregnant silence as he just kind of looks at each of you before he speaks. New faces?
Oh, hello, sir. How's it going? Yes, my sister and I are looking to enter your fine city. Or
Oh.
fine town.
Ah, and what is your business in Caravella Town?
Well, we're just two humble entertainers looking to entertain the masses.
We're entertainers, sir.
Ah, well, we could always use more entertainers. This is a city full of the arts and gleemen, as you say. Ah, and where do you say you hailed from?
Oh, sir, well, we've been traveling all our lives, so there's really nowhere we come from originally, but we were chased down here from up north, and those vile cultists.
Yes, and flogging, I believe it was called. Flogging?
Cultists.
Yes, flogging.
What cultists are you talking about?
We didn't stay long enough to find out, sir.
No, just
You
a lot
say
of weirdos
they're-
up there in flogging.
Flogging. Well, I've been to Flogging a few times myself, and not much strange activity to speak of. What is this strange activity?
No, in between, from not in Flogging, but between here and Flogging, we ran into some unsightly characters.
Yes,
Interesting.
between.
Can you describe these characters?
Oh, very shady indeed, yes. Mm-hmm.
Shady in what way?
Oh,
Well,
they were literally wearing
they-
like hoods, so they were like the faces were shaded.
Couldn't really
even
see
what their
them.
faces looked like. Yeah.
Nope. They
You just
scared us
saw-
right off.
Hooded figures on the road. Is what
Yes,
you're
sir.
saying?
Yes. Yes, sir. Not like near here, but at some point between here and Flogging.
Very happy now to be in your lovely town. We hear this place is amazing. Great
Yes.
farmers, lovely.
Can I start juggling?
Oh, look at the
He
talent!
kinda-
Look at
he
the
eyes
talent
you.
on her.
Back to these cultists you say you saw. They were just road. Did you speak to them? You said you were
No.
chased.
No, we were
They
camping one
chased
night,
you.
and yes, we were camping one night in the woods, and these weirdos in hoods came and started walking towards us, and we just took off. We just
To
took
be
off
on the up and
immediately.
up, sir, we did not stay long enough to talk to them. They just scared us right off. I apologize if we assumed too quickly that they were cultists, but as we came in, we heard that old man over there on that farm. He was muttering about cultists, and we just assumed it was the same thing we ran into. Sorry, sir, if we've made too many assumptions. We are but humble entertainers, and perhaps our storytelling seeps into real life sometimes.
Yes, well, unfortunately, any sightings of cultists will have to make an official report. The two of you will have to come with me.
Cool. We'll be glad to help. Again, didn't see much though, but we will do our best.
Yes, sir. Saw nothing. Ran away quite frightened. I was telling scary stories to my brother that night, and it got us mighty spooked.
Well, I'm glad you're safe. Egon.
Us too. Us
These
too.
two are going to make an official report. Yes, on the Sun Dreamers. I suppose. Egon will take
You
you
know
on
what they're
foot.
called? Are they called the Sun Dreamers? We heard that name from the farmer as well.
The Sun Dreamer. Well, they're a cult of fanatics, terrorists, really,
Ooh.
causing unrest and rumored to be plotting against the city. You see,
Oh,
my goodness.
it has got quite a bit of press lately. A lot of the citizens are a little up in arms. You understand why any story about being chased off the road by cultists would need to be recorded officially.
Sure, of course, sir. But we have nothing but that to report, but we are happy to make it official.
Yes. Egon. And this younger boy comes like running down the stairs. He's maybe 16, 15 years old, but he just comes running down the stairs. Sir, Master Theron, sir. Oh, official report. That's right. Yes. Please come with me. I will take your official report. In the keep. Okay. Anything else, sir?
Young lad.
And this man just kind of looks at Egon. Egon, boy, have some respect. You're a ladies' man. All right? You're a ladies' man. And he pats him on the shoulder. Yes, sir. Yes. And he, please, follow me. And he kind of walks you over.
Oh, a bit of a
this...
ladies' man, are you, Egon? Interesting.
Ladies' man? Yes, I joined the ladies' men. Quite recently, in fact. It's been my dream ever since I was young to join the ladies' men guard.
Interesting. All right.
Yes.
Well, lead the way.
Oh, absolutely. Please, this way. And he
In the
takes you to
presence of
the
a
keep.
ladies' man. Wow.
He takes you to the keep, and then he goes around the side of the keep, and you see that there's just a small room off to the side of this pretty large barracks keep. And he kind of pulls you inside, and there's just like a table and books and scrolls all over the place. And he motions to 2 chairs, and please have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Theron said you wanted to make a report about seeing the Sun Dreamers.
Well, we're not sure if that was them, but we'll report everything we know. All we know is that on our way from here.
Well, first,
here,
I need your I need your name.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Procedure and all, we get it. I am Eddie Bauer, and this is my sister, Steffi.
Steffi Bauer and Eddie Bauer.
Yes.
All right.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
Steffi Bauer, Eddie Bauer, and what brings you to the Caravella Town region?
Oh, we're entertainers, sir. We came to see if we could entertain.
Entertainers. Oh, very scary being on the road, especially with those Sun Dreamers running around. Yes. And where did
Indeed.
this incident take place?
Well, we're not aware of the lay of the land, you see. We are travelers, and we just know it was between here and Flargan. That's all we know.
Flargan, was it north of Top Bottom?
Mm-hmm.
It was north of Top Bottom. Interesting. So you guys were out pretty far in the wilderness.
Did you say yes, we were, yes, exactly.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend leaving the roads, because the road.
Really?
Yeah. It's
You
just
see, I have quite a love of spooky stories, and I did convince my brother to take us into the woods to camp so I could practice some of my newer spooky stories for our entertaining, you see, and that's how we ended up in the woods. But I see now where we made our mistake, and that is not very wise.
Very good tip. You truly are a ladies' man. Good job.
Can you not practice stories on the road? There's not that many people.
Oh, you
covering
can, but I like the atmosphere of a spooky forest. You see, I'm a bit of a method entertainer.
You're a fabler by trade?
Trying to be. We're not well established.
Well, you're in luck.
we actually-
The Master Fabler is in town. You should check him out sometime.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Who's the Master Fabler?
Well, that's just his title. I don't think I actually know his name. He's just been known as that
He
ever
himself
since.
is a legend now, I assume.
Oh, yeah. He knows all of the stories, especially my favorite from the Age of Adventure. It's fantastic. Elazar and his group, amazing. If you guys can, you should check him out. He's probably at one of the inns.
Yes,
Down at
we
the
shall
docks?
at some point. We shall at some point for sure. We have some business here, but after that, we'll make our way over there.
Yeah. Anyways, so you were practicing your fables. Go on. I apologize. And what happened after that?
We ran away.
Yeah. She was telling me a very spooky story, and in the middle of it, some hooded figures came out from the rustling bushes and scared us off, and we ran for our lives. So we ran for our lives all through the night. It was really something. Got the blood pumping.
Did they speak to you in any way or say anything?
Oh, I don't know. It was just a lot of mumbling, I think, right?
We did not hear anything. Like I said, we ran as soon as we saw something. I had us all spooked. I guess I'm getting pretty good with my stories. And I had us all spooked. And so the second it could have been an owl, sir, that came out from the woods, and we would have ran. We were just so spooked.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. He starts writing down hooded figures. And you sure they weren't any of the local farmers?
Not at all, sir. Like I said, we did not stay to find out.
Interesting. Okay. Farmers.
We can't be more helpful, sir. We,
And
honestly
you
just got
guys
scared and ran.
ran in what direction?
We headed south.
Due south?
We headed
Well,
directly south.
Well, brother, you're forgetting the part where we had to find our way out of the woods, which took some time. So we kind of ran in all directions, finding our way out of the woods, and then we ran south once we found the road again.
Oh, yes, indeed. I am forgetful.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That makes a lot more sense. Great. Okay. And any more information? What did these cultists, as you say, did they have any defining markings on their robes? Can you tell me any
just
kind of description?
Black robes. I'm so sorry. We told the other gentleman that we really did not have any information, but we would be happy to tell what we have. And unfortunately, this is all we have. We did not know that this was such a serious problem. Otherwise, maybe we would have tried to find out more for you, because you all seem like such fine people.
We really do.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. And how long do you think you're going to be staying in Caravella Town?
Well, sir, that all depends on the profit we make here. Hopefully, we make a good handful of coin while we're here for the day. If we make even more than we hope for, we'll save for another day. But we'll have to see.
We do like to travel, sir. We never can be found in one place too long.
Oh, fantastic. And, well, that's about all the questions I have. Hey, I hate to ask. I'm a big fan. You think maybe you could just give me a little story?
Oh my, I don't.
A big fan of us? Oh, there's no way you could know about. Oh, you just mean entertainers in general?
Yeah, I mean, I love stories. I consider myself maybe a novice fabulist myself, but someone like you who's traveled all over the world, if you could tell me like a story from far off, I would be so grateful.
Oh, well, I've been working on
Steffi,
a story.
Steffi, sorry, we do not work for free. Remember, I'm your manager. You have to get paid before we work for anyone. So,
okay.
unless there's coin provided, we have to save our stories for the paying, unfortunately.
Sure. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. That was rude of me. And he pulls out like 5 copper coins and puts it on the table.
Ooh, very generous. Wow.
Brother, let me tell the tale I was practicing the other night. I think I've got it down.
I don't know. It's pretty scary. Are you sure?
Yes, of course.
All right.
And you see this boy. Like,
I'm just gonna.
This boy
just
settles
kinda slide
into
the
his
money
chair.
to the side.
And this boy settles into his chair, like, very excited. If he had ears,
Okay.
it would be like... "Foong." That's...
Okay. I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to basically, like, talk about the spooky creatures that we saw in the pit, but I'm going to talk about it as if it's, like those creatures roam the streets of Capital City, because I'm sure from out here, Capital City's like, woo. So I'm going to tell a ghost story about these phantom creatures that roam the streets at night in Capital City, and like use all the creepy creatures that we saw in the pit as the creatures.
Ghosts. Roaming the city?
Ghost creatures with other attached bodies from other creatures all in one. And they roam the streets of Capital City at night, doing the deeds of the, why can't I think of the name of the bad guys? The gray.
Oh, the Ashen Riders?
The Ashen Riders. I was like, the Grayscales. The Ashen Riders. doing the Ashen Rider's bidding late at night. And that's why you'll never find any citizens roaming the streets of Capital City.
Oh,
The
my
Ashen
goodness! You get me
Riders.
every time with that story, Stephanie.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, the
Oh,
Ashen
it's
Riders.
just...
The Ashen Riders come here pretty often. I have never seen any ghosts or beasts.
Oh,
I mean, in fact, they're a whole platoon. They just came in a couple days ago.
It's not literal. It's mostly metaphor and just.
Haven't you ever heard of ghost stories? They're like myths. These are myths that we picked up when we were roaming around near Capital City. It's like wives' tales and mythical tales. Don't you have any of those here?
Well, yeah, we have a ton. I mean, our whole city was based on the Blades of the Third
Right.
Star, you know?
So you know
It's
that
kinda
it's not all literal, that's all.
Well, but these stories, though, actually happened from the Age of Adventure.
Oh, your stories. Ours didn't,
Your
though.
stories, yes. Yeah, our stories are more metaphor, more flowery kind of language to provide a certain emotion.
So you're saying
you understand.
metaphorical ghosts roam around with
Listen,
Ashen
I
Riders?
would sit
No,
here and
they don't
explain
roam
to you.
around with Ashen Riders. They roam around Capital City.
metaphorical. Oh, okay. Well, thank you
could
so much.
explain to you how
Thank you so
stories
much.
work. You
My
must be
story
going, yeah.
requires
You know, I
tweaking.
have a lot of work. Actually, I forgot about. Ugh, paperwork. Am I right?
Right.
Thank you so much. You guys have been so great. Thank you for giving your testimony, and we'll go look into the cultists near the roads, the wilderness. You said north of Top Bottom.
Wonderful. All right. Well, you have a great day, and we will now enjoy your lovely town. Thank you for your hospitality. A good day to you, sir.
Yes. Oh, and if you did want to see the Master Fabler, he's probably near the dockside. He's always roaming around telling stories.
Great. Thank you. And
Yes.
we start walking
Have
our
a
way
good one.
out. We're leaving.
And as you're walking around,
Wow.
Those are our hooves walking out.
Theron walks out. That man who is decorated, he catches you right as you're walking out. So everything recorded? All you saw?
Like I said, we didn't see much, but we told him what we saw.
All right. Well, I hope you'll be staying in the city for a few days, in case we have any follow-up questions. Any idea where you'll be staying?
Not yet, sir. This is our first time here. We've never even seen the city. We don't know where the inns are or what they're called.
Yes, and, yes, we will definitely look around, let you know where we land, all right? Well, you have a great day. We have things to do.
Well, I might
Good day,
suggest
sir.
hanging out in Captain's Row. There's quite a few inns if you've got some coin. Probably suit
great.
your persuasion a little better.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, you two, and he takes a very long look, really taking you in. Stay out of trouble.
Will do. You have a great day, sir.
And he
All
walks
right.
back to the gate.
You walk away. All right. Oh, my goodness. That was rough.
What in the
wow.
bloody hell was that? I can't believe it!
My God. I mean, we were... That was
That
crazy.
bloke, he wanted a story. I gave him a story. Then my story wasn't good enough for him. What in God's name is wrong with these people?
I mean, who just sits there and gives you notes on a story you wrote like that? Who does? You don't even know him. You know, you didn't
I
know
don't
him.
know. Who keeps asking questions when you tell them you didn't say anything?
Right? All right. Well, we obviously can't leave here in these same characters. So we'll have to
Obviously
change
not.
up before we leave. But we got out of it, so we're fine for now. Let's
Well, we do know that the Ashen Riders are here and where they are.
Yes, exactly. So let's just make a little bit of a roundabout and just check out the town. All right?
All right.
All right. As you guys head to the city, you take maybe 5 steps away from the gate when you're bombarded by a whole bunch of children holding just a bunch of trinkets, different food items like fruits and breads and such. None great. This fruit may be a little old, this bread a little stale. And they're holding these things up to you, and these kids are yelling like, 1 copper, sir, 1 copper, just 1 copper. And right behind you, you hear, hey, hey, scram. And as they hear Theron's voice, you see them all just, shoo, they all just scatter all at once. And some of them run behind kiosks, some of them run into alleyways. They're not necessarily scared. It's not like they think they're in danger, but they kind of laugh playfully and go running off.
Yeah, and I kind of pretend like we're a little bit frightened from this experience, and I kind of hold my sister closer to me just for a little while, just kind of protectively, you know, as we walk.
I get slightly uncomfortable. I'm like, why is Dresden still holding me? Red's like, why do I confuse your names? Sorry.
And you guys see that there's just a long line of kiosks heading south into the city. 3 or 4 dozen people kind of roaming around, and these kiosks have mostly food items. It's almost like a farmer's market, just kind of lining to the sides. And in the middle of this walkway, you see this very, very large statue, maybe 20 feet high, made of this very, very nicely marbled stone. And the statue in front of you is a huge dwarf with a large shield. He's got this long beard that's braided into strands that almost reaches the floor, and in his offhand he has a big old huge book. And on the shield you see a dwarven style battle axe masked with a pick of some sorts. It's like an axe and a pick. You see behind that the symbol of the Lady Mayan, that hexagon with a triangle and intersecting lines. And he just kind of stares off into the sky a little bit, and you see on on the plaque at the bottom it says Darrow of Pint Bottom. And as you continue heading south into town, it gets a little bit more crowded, and you come into this huge cross section of the town. It's this large fountain. This fountain's maybe 50 feet in diameter. It's just huge, and the symbol of the Lady Mayan, the goddess, is raised high in the stone dais in the middle of this huge fountain. And you see dozens of people walking up to the fountain and like filling buckets with water. It seems like just this fountain is connected. And when you get close to the fountain, you look down and you see the fountain is deep, as if it's connected to some kind of freshwater runoff, and just people come up and grab buckets and buckets of water and walk off.
Sweet.
And there's people hanging out in this area, and that's when you notice that there's 4 statues almost making a diamond all the way around. To the west, you see this large horse being ridden by what looks like a gnome or a halfling man. And to the east, you see an elven woman riding a horse with a bow in her hand, arrow drawn into the sky. And just to the south, you see what looks like another statue. It's hard to tell. The statue's facing away from you, but it's got a big cloak and a robe on, holding a staff in their right hand. And way beyond that, there's another statue that's huge, maybe 35 feet tall. And it holds what looks like a man in thick metal plates, holding a shield down, a kite shield by the top, a sword raised high into the sky.
Interesting.
And just off and to your west, you see the ocean. There's a big bay, which we're going to call Bodwig Bay. Let me actually pull this up on the maps so you guys can actually see what's going on. All right. So you guys had entered through here, the first gate, And this is where you got stopped by Theron, and there was a guard post just off here, like a little keep that you had given your testimony for. And you had come south, and there was just long lines of kiosks of fruit vendors and vegetable vendors and such. And here's that first dwarven statue that you hit. And as you continued south, you saw this big fountain, which was labeled on another placard, the Blood of the Five. Here's that halfling or gnome on a horse. Here's the elf on a horse, and here's that hooded figure. And way, way, way to the south, you see that huge 35-foot statue of a knight with a sword into the air. And just to the west, you see this huge, what looks like a wharf coming off of here, and you see riding high, those huge sails. Unmistakably that it's some sort of it's that ship you had seen. Maybe you hadn't seen it. It's the oh gosh, what's the name of those? The Alistar Corporation.
Oh, that's the Alistar. Yeah.
You see those big sails, big violet sails with the Alistar Corporation seal just right on the top of each one. Docked at this humongous wharf with large, almost like a warehouse right outside. And then you see just kind of up and down, you see a bunch of different smaller docks and ships moving goods and stuff through here. And there's a lot of carts coming from this area moving south over here. Now, you notice when you look down this row to the south, you notice that the buildings start to become much more decorated, ornate, and fancy the farther south you go, and the roads themselves become much cleaner and well taken care of, as well as you start to see more of those guards in those light uniforms walking around the city, called the Ladies' Men.
Great. So yeah, we'll do kind of a stop and look around for a little bit. The statues. Oh, how that looks amazing! Look at that. And I'll just kind of whisper to Trust. So yeah, we'll just make sure to stay out of the fancier areas, obviously. Yep.
Where are you guys headed?
So we'll make a gradual kind of U-turn and kind of go around to like where the docks are.
Okay.
Well, you're muted, Daye.
I don't know how that happened. My mic was not muted, but Discord muted me. They told us where the Ashen Riders were, so I give it like a little drive by, see how guarded the ship is, you know.
Yeah. And I'm also gonna like keep like kind of checking the ring, very kind of not obvious, but kind of just like looking out for any like signs of pup talking in my ring at all.
Yeah, so
it's like now it's like literally like a ring camera. Oh, sorry.
You open your awareness. Roll me a perception check.
Oh, sure, yeah. Check. Perception. So that's gonna be a 13.
A 13. So you open your awareness and you start moving around in circles, kind of trying to pick up anything of pup, and you don't really hear anything. There's no talking in any direction.
Gotcha. And not circles. It's more of we're kind of just taking our time, like, moving pretty slow, kind of taking in the scene as we pass by all the boats and the dock, just, taking our time. Yeah, nice. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and it...
Oh, no, it smells of lovely fish.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, are you guys heading towards the dock side?
Yeah, we're gonna just kind of make a pass along the dock, or like near the docks, kind of, and just kind of walk by it very, very gradually, just taking in the scenery,
Okay, so you start walking towards the shore, and there's a strong scent of what smells like fish smoking in gumbo pots, as there's a bunch of what look like chefs mass producing in these big vats food, or lining up food to be cooked, and there's lines of what looks like sailors, all with their own bowl and spoon, just kind of in a line, they flip a copper and take some gumbo and then move off. It seems like they just feed the masses here. And you start to hear a clop, 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 clop. There's another one of those giant boar-like creatures with the manes and the big bushy tails comes strolling by with a cart. And a nice, well-dressed man with almost a dignified look on his face, holding reins, walks by, just kind of moves a cart full of what looks like bricks in this large cart as it goes by, and you can kind of hear like these rhythmic hammering sounds, almost like an anvil and some wood being sawed just to the north. And when you really look to the north of the docks, like the northeastern area, you start to see that there's a lot of little workshops. And there's a few forges and smithies and carpentry and such. It seems like there's a whole bunch of them. Most of them making either long planks for boats or patching up carts or fixing things. It seems like a lot of the what would you call them? Artisans and journeymen kind of work in this area right near the dockside. And then to the south of you, you see there's a bunch of what look like offices and warehouses, as well as there's a slew of different kinds of what looks like taverns and bars and such, and a few inns.
Is that like is that kind of like over where the scrap area, the scrap district is?
So the scrap is to the north. That's where all those people were working.
The artisans, sorry,
and stuff. Yeah, and just to the south of that, you see this big sign hanging on an old wooden sign, just hanging back and forth, and it says Captain's Row.
Captain's Row.
To the south, and then the docks are all met by these posts that say, "Welcome to the Salt District."
Great. And as we're kind of passing and going through this area, the Alistar boat is pretty big. Can we kind of just like do a quick like look at it once in a while, glance at it? Is there anything?
Yeah.
Is there action happening right now? Is anybody like getting off, getting on?
It doesn't seem like there's anyone getting on or off, but just on the
guarded?
wharf itself, you see about a half a dozen guards on the wharf. And from where you're at, you can see about another dozen people milling about on the actual boat itself, on the top of the boat.
Does it look like we could possibly approach the boat from the water and like versus from the dock?
I mean, here, this is kind of the orientation of the boat itself. It's docked here. So you could presumably swim up to the boat if you wanted, but there'd be really no way to get onto the top unless you could climb it.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Do we spot Gashtun Alistar at all as we're passing by, or
No, it doesn't seem like Gastun's anywhere near there.
Cool. All right. Well. All right. Well, dear sister, do you want to make our way and find a room so we can change out of our clothes and into something more appropriate for later today?
Oh, sure. Yes, I'm quite weary from our travels. I could use a nap.
Wonderful. All right. Let's find a local tavern here at the lovely Captain's Row, and we'll walk over and try to find the nearest, cheapest looking tavern.
Okay. There's a tavern here. There's a couple places. There's a place you see immediately in front of you. There's 3 buildings, one of which is kind of placed more in the center of this district block, but it's taller and it's a little bit more grandiose. And on the top, on this big, huge sign that's been recently repainted, it says The Palace Hotel. And there's 2 different other taverns right in front. One looks like a multi-floor inn. It's a little bit in less modest repair. It's still nice, but you see a sign with an anchor and a little night hat on it called the Lazy Anchor. And then you see a tavern that's pretty large, but it's only 1 story. It's got just a much broader breadth of area. but it's only one story, and you see a lot of sailors kind of moving in and out, and it's called the Seasick Whale.
Oh God.
And that one kind of faces the shore.
Do we see any? When you say sailors, do you see any like Ashen Riders coming in and out of there?
Yeah, there's a few here and there, and you notice them right away from their gray leathers.
So yeah, we'll go over to the Lazy Anchor, right? Does that sound good to you, sister?
Oh, sure.
Great.
And as you walk into the Lazy Anchor, something catches your eye right away.
Oh, boy.
Before you even enter in, you see this place is full of Ashen Riders.
Ooh, my.
This place is
Jaymes.
like... There's maybe a dozen of them just sitting around having ale.
Oh,
in
look,
this place.
I saw this. Oh, look, a bird. And I'm going to have us go in a different direction now because that sounds horrifying. I guess we'll go to the palace and hopefully there aren't any there. We'll just kind of cruise by there and check.
That looks even nicer. Wouldn't they be more likely there?
I don't know. Let's go and walk by it.
All right, so you walk into the...
No.
this
Walk
down-
by. Walk
Oh.
by, not walk in. Not walk
Well,
in.
so you
By
walk
the
by,
house.
and there's these two giant double doors that kind of block any kind of vision into this place. It's not really like a
Okay.
place you just peer into in the same
Great.
way as the others.
Great. Perfect. All right. Should we go ahead and just nix this idea of getting a room then, and maybe find a nice bathroom, porta-john to change in instead, or an alley?
I mean, you've seen like there's the Seasick Whale is a pretty large establishment, and you saw lots of people going in and out. I mean, I don't know what you're planning, but also in the Lazy Anchor, there were rooms upstairs that looked private. Like if you wanted to get a private room, you could. There's just the tavern area of the Lazy Anchor was full of Ashen Riders at the moment.
I'll leave it up to my sister. I'm kind of talking in code. What I'm trying to say is we need to just find a room to basically change our appearance in, because if anyone sees us do it, we can get in a lot of trouble. So
Also, I don't want to be seen at all in my normal form in here. It's not safe.
no, I'm saying like change to a different appearance. So like use disguise self to be somebody else. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well-
the ones we have right now are our cover's kind of blown almost immediately, because they're now making us stay here for a day or whatever for like an investigation. So
Yeah.
that sucks.
Well, let's go into the Seasick Whale.
That's the one with a lot of Ashen Riders. So
No, you said the Sunken Anchor was.
The Lazy Anchor
The Lazy
was
Anchor.
Lazy
completely
Anchor.
full, but it had a smaller tavern. The Seasick Whale was like a very large establishment. So there was a few
Okay.
Ashen Riders in there, but there's also maybe 36 other sailors, just
Alright.
very loud and rowdy, kind of
Yeah,
moving
let's just
through the
go
place.
there.
all right. For some reason, I don't know why, but I thought there was a bunch over there. So never mind. We are good. Let's go.
So you enter this room, and it's huge, and there's maybe a dozen stools that have all been taken, but most of them lay kind of broken all over the place, and there's just a bunch of tables and people standing shoulder to shoulder in this huge bar with 3 bartenders just throwing drinks back and forth. You see waiters kind of moving through the crowds, dropping drinks all over the place, and people flipping coppers back and forth. And it's very, very loud here, and most people just seem very relaxed and jovial in this place.
Great. All right. I keep my sister very tight to me, and I'm going to go ahead and try to find someone I can talk to get a room.
Okay. Yeah, and you see this big, long. At one time, it was probably a nice, finished bar, and you see like the remnants of like detail and stuff, that artistry that had once encompassed this big bar area, and its since has just been kicked and scuffed so many times in its long lifespan that there's really, it's just a wooden plank at this point. It looks probably more similar to a gangplank than a bar now. And you walk up, and this bartender older man, gray hair, but full head of hair, but graying, walks over with an apron. Aye, what do you have?
Hey, we'd love to get a room if one's available.
A room. All right,
Yes,
just
please.
one room.
That'll do.
All right, well, for the two of you, it'd be 1 gold.
Great. And I hand him 1 gold.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ah, Charlene. And this younger woman, maybe 25, 26, comes out, and she pops out. Aye, you got a room.
Yes.
Two of
one
you,
room,
and
please.
one. Aye, follow me. And she walks over and pulls some keys off of a rack.
Great.
When you guys walk out this back area, this back alleyway, and there's another building behind, and it just has 2 rows. It's almost like a U shape, and there's just like doors within this little U shape. And she walks over, unlocks one of the doors, throws you the key. Hi, well, we'll be needing these back at first light. If there's anything you need, just let us know. And she walks
Great.
back.
Thank you very
and-
much.
And then you notice that the door to this room is very sturdy. It seems like this building was made to last a long time. It's something that you notice that in, especially the Raven's Nest of Capital City, the buildings were built, very shoddily built. Most times just to last you through a season, if not the month. And this building is solid. The workmanship is solid. The wood they used, thick planks to make this, and there's nice paint that seems to have been well kept on this building itself, and the roof too in good repair. And as you walk in, the noise of the city kind of dampens in an appreciable way, and you have this window looking out to the north, just down into another alleyway, cross-beamed by these metal struts almost. And you have one big bed in the corner, a dresser, and a chest.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna open and close the door. Just wow, this door, the craftsmanship in here is amazing. I didn't know you're able to make a building this sound. I mean, listen to this. Listen to this. Close it, hardly any sound. Open it, city. Close it, hardly any sound. This is amazing. Wow. I'm just gonna look at the door for a while. Oh.
Tress rolls her eyes at Rezik and starts. I probably has to. I'll go back into normal form because my spell only lasts an hour, so probably have to shake it off,
Okay, and as you guys are sitting in this room enjoying, we cut to the tall fields outside of Caravella Town, where 3 of our heroes lay in wait. What are you guys up to?
Yeah, I'm just taking a nap.
Yeah, I'm probably napping.
Okay, yeah. So we cut over and we cut back to the room, and the 2 of you sitting on this nice bed.
Yeah.
And you notice the sheets too. The sheets are clean, which astounds you.
Trust,
It's
the
been
sheets are clean.
A while
This is-
since
oh
you
my
have had a clean room, clean
God.
sheets.
Oh yeah, they're real nice. I'm gonna in them.
Oh god. All right. Should we have a nap? No. All right. Yeah. Good job with the
What
improv
should we
story. That was
have a nap? We're the ones doing all the hard work. I bet they're just over there sleeping.
No, I'm sure they're
We
planning a course of
heavy
action.
lifting.
Oh.
Trace is probably dreaming of ways to strangle us for all the wrong things we've said.
I don't believe that is well, it could. Well, maybe I don't know. Either way, good job out there. I mean, I literally every minute I have been stressed. Every single minute out there, I've been I'm sweating like crazy. This is
I
insane.
thought it was just always like that. I thought that was just your standard.
No.
I was
I don't
very
sweat.
nervous. You're very nervous all the
No.
time.
Well, yes, but no, I don't sweat all the time. But yes,
No, that's true. That's new. I thought it was the heat.
Anyway, good job. So yeah, what should our we need to get out of here and give everyone the information. What should our new personas be? What are we now?
Probably sailors, right? There's probably a lot of them in here. Not easy to keep track of. Bunch of sailors.
some like
ships.
some sailors.
Yeah.
Sure. What's our? Why are we leaving?
Oh, true. Was there anything that we passed that would make sense? Because you want to leave. Okay, right, get back to them. Sailors make sense, but just wandering around here. But if we're leaving, did we see any like farmer types in the city, like selling?
Yeah, there's a bunch of farmers in the city.
And like farmer types buying? Or just selling?
Not a lot of them buying. It seems like most of the farmers had carts or kiosks or such. You see there were some farmers buying maybe supplies or clothing or tools and such in the city. Much closer to the gate is where a lot of that stuff they were picking up.
What type of supplies?
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. Hose. It seemed like maybe some of them were buying seed. Some,
Great. Yeah.
We're buying just even like clothing or lamp oils or needles and thread. All kinds of different, just mundane stuff.
What if we disguise ourselves as like the farmer types and go back down and buy some supplies and then just try and walk out with it?
Yeah.
Was they checking the farmers on the way out?
Didn't seem like they were checking a lot of the people coming out unless they had maybe a full cart worth of stuff. They were more interested in the people coming into the city than out.
Great idea, Trust. So yeah, I'll be your father, and you could be my young little boy, and we're just here to buy a new hoe and some oil for our lanterns. There you go. Good backstory.
All right, love it. It's great.
Oh, I guess you can't. Well, just be my little daughter instead, because you don't have any like little boy clothing. So yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Let you have little boy clothing.
Dresden, I can change myself and my clothing, so...
How dare you call me his name? I am not Dresden, I am Rezek.
Oh, sorry. You
This
just
keeps happening.
I'm just so angry at him. I can't get
Is
over
that
my
literally
mind.
the only thing on your mind is Dresden, like the last couple of days, I
He's
swear.
taking up free rent in my head, and I can't let it go. I can't get rid of him. You can slap me, Rezek. Slap me. Slap him over my head.
I will slap you, and I'm going to go kind of all in, but then at the very end, like kind of fail and just be like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Damn it, Rezek.
I'm sorry. I'll use Mage Hand, and Mage Hand just gives you a little slap. There you go.
All right. Anyways,
all right.
the point was I can change myself and my clothes.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. So yeah, whatever you want to be is fine. All right, cool. Great. So yeah, let's get back to the group then, right? Or is there anything else you wanted to look at before we leave?
Is there anything else Dresden wanted us to look at before we leave?
No, I don't think so. You kind of just said to get a kind of a quick sweep of the land.
I don't know why I'm asking. If we did everything right, he'd still find something to complain about. So let's just go. And yeah. Well, but how do we get the lady the key back? Do we just leave it at the door?
We just leave it in the room. They'll get it tomorrow.
Okay.
Eddie and Steffi no longer exist. We're fine. Don't worry about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
And you hear a small knock on the door.
Oh,
I change into it. I change.
I don't mean to disturb you. Just making sure you're all right. I heard slapping or something about slapping coming through the door.
Oh my goodness! Come on.
How?
All right,
James, you literally set up a place with the door that cuts out. Oh my god, I hate you.
I'll go to the door. I'm still in the Eddie disguise for now. I go to the door. Oh, hello. Yes, we were just practicing a piece for one of our shows we do. Don't worry, dear. We're fine in here.
Oh, all right. Yeah, just checking, making sure. All right.
All right.
Everyone, won't disturb you again.
Take it easy. Have a good night. And I should close the door. Okay, we have to wait in here for like another 15 minutes now. Great.
I rolled out from under the bed.
How'd you even hear that?
I don't know. Maybe sound can't come in, but it goes out.
I mean, with this craftsmanship, never mind. We'll just wait 10 minutes.
Go stand outside the door, and I'll shut it, and then I'll yell. Tell me if you could hear it.
No, that will bring it. No, they'll come back again.
Get out! Get out! I push him out the door and shut the door.
No, Trust. Do not yell in the room, please.
I'm just going
to.
And
I'm just,
you see.
I laugh loudly. I just laugh like.
You see, you can't hear that well from outside, Rezik, but you do notice the door next to you is open, and that woman seems to be like changing sheets or something, and she kind of pops her head out the door, and you get the sense that maybe it's not coming out, but it travels to the next door neighbor's rooms.
All right, so yeah, I just wave. I get a little smoking pipe out and just smoke for a while. Hey, how's it
She
going?
kind of goes back to like changing sheets on this bed.
Okay, and I go back in the room after a while. Oh my goodness, what a nosy woman that is. All right, let's just be very quiet in here while she's next door. We'll just wait 10 minutes and then we'll go.
All right.
All right.
I will transform myself into like a 12-year-old boy. Farmer boy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be a slightly balding, kind of middle-aged, older man, kind of a little bit of a belly to him.
All right. And you guys wait 10 minutes. You hear the door next door close, and then you hear just down the alleyway another door open as you see her kind of go into the next room and start cleaning up. About 10 minutes later.
Great. Yeah. So as they're going into that room, we'll go ahead and we'll leave as our new identities and try to just kind of hustle our way out of there to the nearest shop to buy a new hoe and some oil for our lanterns.
Okay. So yeah, you pop out. It seems like she's cleaning the next room over. No one sees you. There's not really anyone in this alleyway right now. And you guys kind of cut around and back onto that main street, which is pretty close, where all the carts are coming through. And one of the things you notice, though, kind of walking the back streets, is there, especially in this district, all around here in the dockside, there's quite a few urchins just kind of sitting about, pretty ragged clothes, just kind of sitting, not doing much, but hanging out in the alleyways. And it's something you didn't notice walking the streets. The main streets seem to be pretty clean and clear of that sort of thing. Seems like the city guard does a pretty good job of shoehorning these people kind of into the back alleys and the streets out of view.
So yeah, I'll kind of just keep my ears and eyes kind of just. I'll have a kind of bobblehead just looking around, making sure we're okay, like watching out for any urchins. Keep my boy close, and we'll go to the shop.
And this little boy kind of runs up to you, Rezik. Oi, I'll do a trick for a copper. Eh?
That's all right. We're busy, kid. We have to get going, and I'm just gonna try to just kind of mosey around him.
Why do you speak so funny, huh?
From a different area of the world. I'll see you later. Bye. I'm gonna go.
All right, you're lost. You're lost.
We should
And,
talk like them.
And he
Yeah,
kind
it's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea. Yep.
runs off. Roll a d20.
Which who?
Rezik, roll a d20.
I'm rolling a d20 because a boy is interrogating us now. So let's see what happens. I got an 18.
An 18.
Oh my goodness.
This boy tries to reach in one of your pockets. And you just your hand kind of naturally like knocks his hand away, and you notice. And he's like,
Knock it off.
Hey, I don't want to hold your hand, and walks off.
Scram!
Oi,
right,
I don't want to hold your hand. I should talk like him. Oi. Dad, let's go.
You're right.
Let's get out of this city. We've got to get our supplies.
Let's go. All right.
Okay. And you find a place pretty close to selling lamp oil and some farming tools and such. And the lamp oil's only about a silver piece, and each of the tools are about a silver piece each.
Yeah.
Dad, we need some seed. Remember, Dad? And that hoe broke yesterday.
Yeah, and I'll change my accent because using the southern accent was a bad idea. Right, yeah, you're right, son. Let's get that hoe and the seeds, and we'll be all good here. Yeah. And,
Dad, can I get a new pair of shoes, Dad, please? Mine are so rotten.
Right, yeah, you get those ones over there, boy. Yeah, go ahead over there. Hey.
Oh, we have so many different accents.
Wait, so are you trying to buy new shoes?
I mean, I was just trying to fuck with Rezik, but apparently now I'm getting new shoes.
Because a cobbler would be a little
Well,
bit
if you
different.
keep adding on,
Wouldn't
if you
be,
keep adding on a layer, I have to say yes and.
like,
Right? I can't be like no.
General stores and the farming supplies are kind of in the same area, but if you're looking for a clothier or a cobbler,
Oh no,
such,
you
that might be
said a
little
lot.
bit
Some of them were getting clothes, so I just assumed there were clothes near us. Are there not?
There's like really basic clothes, such as like just like really unflattering shirts and cloaks and such.
Oh, okay.
Shoes tend to be
Never
like
mind that.
very expensive comparatively. So
Okay, never mind that.
you'd have to kind of go to someone who specializes in that sort of thing.
Right.
Oh, Dad, I was just joking. Oh, you're so gullible. I don't need new shoes.
Oh, darn it! Get over here! Dang, I can't do it.
So you get like a bag, and when you go up, there's a
Get
bunch
over
of
here
different
already.
there's a bunch of different kinds of seeds at this store.
Oh, okay. What kind of seeds they got?
Do
This
they
is
have
getting so
cabbage? Do they
intricate
have-
for just buying
do-
some stuff. I'm gonna pick up some random seeds. I don't care.
Do they have cabbage
Okay.
seeds?
Yes, they do.
Cabbage seeds, yeah.
Let's get some cabbage seeds.
And the guy kind of looks at you. Gonna pass the season and start planting these, huh?
Never too soon to get more, though, sir.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, I guess
Good
that's
boy.
true.
Just sign
Cabbage will
up.
grow.
We're
Cabbage really
buying
grow
'em.
anytime. All right. Well, and all this stuff costs you about 5 silver
You
pieces.
saw a dude plant. Dang it! Oh, yeah, I gotta plant them earlier, I guess. Dang it! You're right. Son of a gun.
We're not very good farmers, sir.
Come on, man. We're just gonna get some seeds, all right? I'm gonna go. I'm so stressed right now. Every
you get some
detail
cabbage
is just
seeds.
like question,
You get
question,
some-
question.
You get some cabbage seeds.
Because James is trying to murder us.
You get some cabbage seeds. You get a new hoe. You
guys are doing
get
great.
Some, you get a container of
Oh,
what's it called? Lamp oil, and you're holding all these things, and you go walking up to the gate, and it looks like same guard. Doesn't look like there's been a change of guard, but most of the people walking out just seem to be strolling out. A nod to the ladies' men, and nothing else. And I might need to note that the ladies' men consist both of men and women. You are just a ladies' man in title. Lady referring to, you assume, the Lady Mayan, goddess of law. You assume.
Tight. Yeah. That's yeah.
So you
I'm
guys
sure.
go walking up, and you see Theron standing there, and he's questioning somebody, and you see him. He's done this probably a million times in his life, and this couple walks up, and he kind of stops them, looks them down, looks them up, and you hear all the same, "What is your business here in our fine town of Caravella?" And, the people, they start discussing things, and as you walk out, no one seems to give you a second glance at all.
Thank God. Oh my God. Okay, good. And we'll make our way over to where our group was. Probably a little whiles away, but we'll go back over there.
Okay, and it's the daytime. There's people kind of walking around, and there's a few farmers in the fields here. How are you guys gonna jump into these fields? Because as you know, it's kind of bad form to just run into another farmer's fields, especially this close to like harvest. People would assume you're stealing.
We will just try
we'll
to
keep
be
walking down the road until there's no one in front or behind us, and then just like
yeah, and just kind of sneakily get in there. Yeah.
Both of you guys roll me stealth checks with advantage. As you kind of walk a little farther down the road, but there's still farmers kind of in all directions. Some working in their fields, some moving carts and such. There's not really a time where there's not a single person, unless you were to wait much longer later into the night.
21.
21.
I got a 14.
A 14. You guys bust into you guys are kind of just like, and then into these stocks. And the rest of you who are sleeping, you can hear them enter the stocks. You hear somebody enters these large stocks.
Someone's coming.
Pulling my knife out.
Yeah, I'm
I'll.
just staying laying down.
I presume I was laying like I was using maybe a rock as a pillow. Is how I imagine myself sleeping. I would like to jump behind the rock and kind of use it for cover. Put myself between. Put the rock between. Yeah, I presume it's a big rock. I don't know. Maybe there's not a big rock.
I just look at those guys. I'm like, it's way less suspicious if we're just napping like we were.
And the two of you kind of come into this little clearing that they're in, and you see Killwise behind a rock, flint stock ready, and Cornelia with a knife out, and Dresden just kind of lounging.
Yeah, I've dropped the fake persona. Hi. Oh my god.
You okay?
God.
You go well?
Figured it out. It went well, but that was nerve-wracking. Oh god.
Oh, that's not good to hear. I mean, we're gonna need to get in there and get Pup out. You just went in for recon, and you look worn out.
Was that always great?
I think this town is known for being a lot of question askers. They would not shut up asking us questions.
Everyone is so nosy in there. Everyone, even the children, are just like, "Where are you from? Why do you have a funny accent?" Like everybody is just asking you question after question. I don't know what's going on in there. It's crazy.
You're a stranger in a strange land.
Jesus.
What did you expect?
My god, though.
You must have stuck out like a sore thumb then. What were you doing wrong?
You're going in for recon next time, you son of a...
Yeah, you for sure going in next time. Jeez, Louise.
Well, I think next time we all have to go in now.
Yes, that's true.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
Yeah, that's not what we meant.
Well, what'd you find out? Did you find Pup or the ship, or what happened?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Trust, you want to fill the gang in here?
Sure. There's a ship.
I can.
It's there. It's got about a lot of people. I don't know how he's going to do it, but it's there.
Okay. How many people?
Well, they had about half a dozen on the docks, and then much more on the ship itself. And we saw a bunch all over the place, like in the taverns and stuff. It was, there are a lot of Ashen Riders.
Were they watching from both the dock side and the water side? What did it look like on the actual ship?
No, there was men milling about on the ship, and then there was men guarding the ship.
Yeah.
Mainly guarding the gangplank?
Yeah. I didn't see anyone around the back of the ship.
Okay.
There weren't any, for lack of a better term, police boats rummaging around in the bay?
A Coast Guard check.
Not that they could see. I mean, they didn't get too close to the bay itself. The bay was mostly obstructed by like big ships and such, but it would have been hard to tell if there was any Caravella ships. You'd probably assume they have a few to the town's name, at least.
The town in general seems like it's pretty well guarded, just in general, right? So,
how many levels did the ship have? Do you think Pup's on the ship? Do you?
I don't think. Why would they take? This isn't the final destination. I don't know why they'd risk taking them off.
I don't know either.
I didn't hear them in my ring the whole time, so they must be knocked out still.
Great. But we know which ship.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah.
And how many decks?
We didn't get on the ship.
I mean, you can see like.
Rezik, roll me a history check.
Right?
Okay, that's 20.
A 20, yeah. You've seen this kind of ship all the time at Capital City, so you know that this is probably a 4-deck man-of-war to galleon-sized ship.
Great.
Which probably can host anywhere from 150 to 250 men if it needed to.
Oof, man, yeah, big boy. So we might have to do. This might be like a totally like stealth, somehow stealth mission. I don't know how exactly, but
How do we sneak past 100 people on a ship, though? That doesn't seem possible at all.
Water, right?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
What if we drill a hole in the ship and it starts to sink, and then they get all focused on that, and then we steal back?
Well, I was thinking a little less destructive, but yeah, maybe.
But we don't want them to be able to follow us anyways. We needed to destroy it somehow.
Sure. Okay.
Cut some sails, cut some ropes.
I
Do
mean,
still
you
have
guys
your
would know
armor?
too that like when docked, a majority of the sailors would probably get off the ship just for the sake that they're on it all day. I mean, a significant amount would be left on the ship just to make sure and maintain, just probably not still max capacity while at docked.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like when Gashtun Alishtar spoke to the mayor over that communication device, he did say it was going to be kind of more of an R&R, just a lot of them being able to, relax a little bit, just take a moment before they actually take the next bigger journey, probably back to Capital City. So they're probably just all kind of hanging out in taverns and bars around it during the day.
Well, then we're going to need, I think, disguises. We're going to need to look like sailors, right? And then we go on at night somehow, fake our way down. Maybe
Most likely.
sneak in. What do you think?
Does this hat say sailor to you? And I just stroke the large plume that's on it. Yeah.
It says pretentious to me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Pretentious sailor?
Might be. Well, yeah, but more
Not
yacht.
like the ones in there. We didn't see anyone with fancy hats.
Maybe the hat was a bad choice.
You might need to leave the hat.
You did mention something important. You said it's docked in the bay, right? Not out, but right at the dock, right?
Yeah.
It's pulled right in. So they didn't take a separate boat to come in.
Right.
So it's very likely that a lot of the crew did leave. Otherwise, they would have to ferry boats in and out. But also, that means the bay is really deep, which might work to our advantage if we do have to sink a boat in the bay.
True. I mean, at the very least, all we have to do is really destroy the rudder, right? And that can happen underwater.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Did you guys see any ladders or ropes going into the water from the backside, or just a way to enter from the dock? Or
we did not see any, so we'd have to basically get some if that was
We'd
the
have
that
to
was the
figure
plan.
out a way to climb up the back of the ship. If we want to go that way. But if we drill a hole in it, we could get in that way and then make our way up too.
That'd have to be a really big hole.
I mean, we're not that big. And I look at Coaz and Cornelia.
I've got broad shoulders.
Very broad. Captain shoulders.
I do. I've got captain shoulders. And the hat, it's big, and it would need a large hole to fit through, so...
Okay.
I look at Cornelia and I'm like, I'm not the only one good at telling tales. But I say it only to Cornelia. Like,
Yeah. Well, if we can take maybe a rowboat or even just a splinter of wood that we all float on to the far side, then maybe one of you can mage hand a rope up to the lip.
Oh, that's smart.
True. Yeah, true.
tie it off.
Yeah, tie it off, or at least just throw it over and bring it back down, and then we can climb up that.
Maybe we take a dinghy and use some sort of illusion to make it appear like we're a piece of driftwood.
Oh,
as
that'd
well.
be great. Can we do
that'd
that?
be even better.
Can you guys do
I
that?
don't know.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right,
can
they
move?
do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like our dragon, our dwagon.
All right.
Well, that's a pretty good plan.
All right.
But how do we drill it? How do we cut a hole in the boat? How do we get onto the boat? Well, yeah, get a rope up there, and then we could sneak onto the back.
We try and sneak on. I think at the very least we just need to go by it at night. I think otherwise.
Night recon mission.
Yeah, because otherwise we're not getting a hold of this thing while it's out to see it. It'd be full of men, hundreds probably, right?
Yeah.
Do we know how many would be on there? Did anyone say?
Well, you have no idea for sure.
Dozen
I mean,
so.
What would our educated guess be?
Well, out at
do we
sea?
even have an educated guess? Yeah, like what would be the full?
Out at sea, I mean,
complement?
you saw those 50 men that were marching just outside of First Run, and they probably joined. You'd know that there's probably 4 or 5 dozen crew that are on the boat, mostly at all times, just to make sure that it's in well repair and doesn't crash into anything or something. And they had another 50 men over there, and they were probably dropping off men in different places all over the coast. So anywhere from 100 to 200, anywhere from 100 to 200 men probably came in on that boat.
You know what's wild? Like a real ship of the line would have like 1,000 men on it, which is insane.
That's crazy.
It's neither here nor there. I'd much rather have 200. 200 is great. 200 is great. 200.
Yeah.
Well,
a little bit more room for a little more leg room there. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So,
Just throwing it out there as another option, or a potential backup option. They have to have someone in charge, right? Maybe that Gaston guy. Maybe he's, I don't know, captain of the boat. I'm not sure, but someone's the captain. And if that captain were to come onto the ship and say, "Hey, we got to roll out of port," I presume whoever's on the ship would listen.
yeah,
Maybe that's a good way to split the
and they
group.
call everyone back.
Well, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe it's an emergency.
I only fear that like once you get on there and you're like, "Hey, I'm Gaston, we gotta go," they'd probably like start like alarming the other people on the shore and be like, "We have to all go now, everybody. Here's a big whistle or whatever kind of bell noise or whatever," and it's gonna alert the entire dock.
Yeah,
or,
I mean,
I don't know.
They would expect that Gaston or whatever would know the name of all the officers and everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
Roll
it's a big ask.
a history check, Dresden.
Fuck. What?
Dun, dun, dun.
What if the dock's on fire? But again, just theoreticals.
History?
Mm-hmm.
7?
7. Yeah. I mean, you did a stint at Port Kinney, which is the big port, almost like a mini city outside of Capital City, but you didn't pick up much about the goings-on of what goes on the boat.
Yeah.
While
I mean,
you were
I'm
there,
just
you
really
stayed mostly on
guessing
the land. Yeah.
if there's a captain, there's gonna be people that he orders around, and I'm assuming they're on a first or at least last name basis.
Here's a question for you, DM. Were there any like windows to the boat that like looked out from the
So
ship?
this type of boat has windows on its
Or, like-
the rear, on the back
Yeah.
end, or the bow. Bow, right? That's the back.
Stern.
Yeah.
Stern. The stern
Stern.
is the back.
Stern.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
exact
Bow's the
opposite.
front. The exact opposite. I always get those two mixed up. On the stern, there was 2 sets of windows on the back, but on the sides there was a bunch of what looked like cannon ports
Mm-hmm.
in 2 rows on the ship, but most of those were, I mean, all of them were hatched down, and you didn't see any kind of opening mechanism from the outside. So most likely
Okay. That probably isn't a good one. I was just thinking that if they did have any windows, I could use Misty Step and go into the ship like that. But I don't know. And then get Pup and like blow our way out through a wall or something or whatever. But that's a lot. That's too much.
I mean,
Or is it? It's a pretty good idea.
but where can you move the Misty Step? Where can you do that? What can you do that through? Do you have to see where you're going?
Is it line of sight?
Yeah, I have to be able to see, and it's 30 feet.
Okay.
So
How many times in a row? can you-
Ocean level to the window might be 30 feet. No, maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe because I really like the idea of like putting a hole in the bottom and then we all go through that, but then that makes it so it's like the whole thing's a timed mission. We have to like get Pup and get out of there before the whole thing goes down. So I think Dresden has the best idea of just like trying to sneak our way up to the top and then go down possibly. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's sneak up to the top, work our way down, grab Pup, knock a hole through the bottom, lead through.
Oh, that's a good
And then
idea. Yeah.
Kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Hole in the bottom of the boat. Boat sinks. Pup is extricated.
How do we plan on putting that hole in the bottom? I guess would be my question.
Oh,
I could use a spell.
I can maybe try catapult too. I can flick something out of it.
All I'm thinking is it's a thick ass piece of wood at the bottom of a ship. No.
True.
yeah.
True.
I mean, I don't know. Go-wise?
Well, judging by our ship, it's pretty thick, but obviously we had a hole in ours. It's doable. They didn't not that long, so there's got to be some sort of tool that would be able to cut through the hole, no problem. I don't know what that tool is.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a hand drill would be able to do it. It's going to take a while.
It's trust. Trust can do it.
Plus, but when we bash a hole in it, the water's going to come rushing through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We also
you can't exactly leave. It's the car underwater thing. You got to wait till it's underwater.
the boat underwater. What are they?
But they have cannons. We could use their cannons to blow a hole in the boat.
Oh no! Yes. No. Yes.
I mean, it would be a very daring escape, that's for sure. Just blowing a hole from the inside. Yeah, that would be interesting.
They would never expect it.
I mean, well, there's always the portholes for the cannons and whatnot.
That's true. Yeah, that's probably a lot quieter too.
That's a way out, at least.
Yeah.
I think we just got to get in there, and then tonight we try and sneak on board.
Are we doing anything?
Even if we're just swimming over, you know? I mean, it'd be better if we were dry. Let's be serious. But.
Yeah. Are we doing anything on land to cause a distraction, or on the ship? Should we have all the cannons go off while we're getting up?
That's a good point. Is everyone going to sleep on the ship, or is everyone sleeping on land? Because if everyone's sleeping on the ship, it's a bad time to go.
I mean, do people sleep on ships? You tell me.
We slept on our ship.
Yeah, but what about sailors who've been on a thing? What about recon? Did you guys find anything out about that?
Well, when we were passing by all the taverns and stuff, it seemed like a lot of Ashen Riders were hanging out and stuff. I don't know if they sleep in those taverns, but they might.
They was drinking in there, but I don't know if they was planning to sleep in there. Probably not, if they could save the money for the drink.
Maybe. Maybe it's a chance to not sleep on a ship, though.
True.
Did you get a place at a tavern? Did you get a place at an inn?
We did, but we left it to come back.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So they were available, which means they're probably not sleeping there.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 different inns right next to each other. There might be even more about the city. Seems like there's quite a lot of places to sleep. And we went to one that had fewer of the Ashen Riders in it. We walked into one. It was crawling with them. Left.
Well, maybe we can use that to our advantage as a place to figure out whether or not they're staying in an inn or whether they're staying on the ship.
No.
True.
Okay.
At the very least, it's a step in the right direction.
All right. Well, I guess the next step is to go inside, right?
Yeah. So costumes.
Yes. Well, okay. So there were a lot of farmers, a lot of merchants. So it can maybe be a group of people trying to sell some wares. I don't know. That's the most generic one.
It sounds to me like there might have been a lot of sailors. Do you think maybe we should just dress up as sailors?
Why would sailors be walking in?
Why would sailors have not left for the day to go on a nice stroll in these lovely fields and take in the sights and culture of?
I would be very cautious.
I don't know. It's been if you're on a boat all the time, maybe you get out, you stretch your legs, you want to walk through some fields. I'm just saying.
Right.
Were there large groups?
That's usually about it.
Okay.
I would only say to be extremely cautious because the lead guard there, Theron, was extremely. He was asking lots of questions. So we got to be
so many questions. We literally told him we saw nothing, and he said, "What did you see?" And we said nothing. And he kept asking questions.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Why? Why did you tell him? What did he ask that you said that you saw nothing?
He thought we saw something. He was talking about the cultists that the farmer was, and he wanted.
brought up the cultists?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, talk to that farmer over there. We thought that the whole cultist thing was kind of a thing. It actually is kind of a thing, though, because they were saying there's been more and more stories about it around town of these people called the Sun Dreamers that are kind of this weird cult. So they were just kind of questioning us about that a little bit, but we got out of there pretty quick. It wasn't a big deal.
Were there a lot of people going in? Can we blend in with the group, maybe?
No, maybe.
They was asking everyone questions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what guards do.
What was your backstory? Where'd you say you're from? Maybe we're all part of a larger group. You said something about entertainment, right?
No. I'm sorry. Those personas are dead. They're dead and buried.
Down with them. Not bringing them back.
Yeah. They literally were like, hey, now that we know you saw some cultists, we need to keep you in town for a few days to keep asking you more questions, which were like, we literally told you we saw almost nothing. And they kept asking questions anyway. It was ridiculous.
What did you guys do?
We didn't. Okay, literally. Okay, see, honestly, the farmer told us.
I give up. I'm gonna go dig my grave right now.
No.
And you can all spit on it because I'm just so terrible at trying to come up with personas.
Trust, I'm standing by this, okay? Okay, yeah, it's very funny. Ha ha ha. It's so easy to make judgments, but seriously, the farmer said it was a weird thing that was going around in Floggin, so he brought it up to sound like we knew what was going on around this town. All right, so just take it a little easy. Let's all be on the same team here. All right?
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, we're on the same team. Yeah, I'm just asking, why you're doing what you're doing.
All right.
Crazy.
Okay. All right. So what are we doing? Are we doing farmers? Are we doing merchants? Are we doing?
I'm not going in with them. They're on their own. Not doing it.
Well, what did you guys look like when you went in? What?
You saw us. We left looking like them.
Look,
yeah, we were
2 minutes
strapping entertainers.
2 minutes passed between when you left us and got there. Anything could have happened. Okay, you guys could have decided to look dressed like elephants and. Wait, are elephants in this one? Do we know about elephants?
Elephants.
Elephants.
No, we went. We.
You've heard of something exotic, large, gray-skinned beast with massive tusks and woolly fur.
Woolly fawns.
Oh.
We went in as entertainers. I was a young man named Eddie Bauer. She was a young, a teenage girl named Steffi Bauer, and we were just as performers. And then we left as a father.
Done it wrong, Dresden. We've already done it better. Doesn't like our names.
What do we have on us that we can be? That you all can be maybe merchants. I can be your hired guard because I'm gonna have a hard time explaining my armor otherwise. What do we got?
Okay.
I've got these clothes and oversized shoes and a vest that we wore to that party. Big hat. I don't know if that's gonna help. Well, 2 big hats, really.
Yeah.
Big top hat and this one.
There's dirty clothes and and my armor, which I can't wear.
All right. We day laborers. You guys day laborers on a farm. What's that? I mean, I can always just say, traveling mercenary, I suppose. That's also not great, though. I mean, it doesn't have to be bulletproof. It just has to be plausible, right? We just need ability.
If we need a thing to sell, we could go to a local farmer and try to get some produce and put it in a basket, and then go in and say we're selling our
we could
produce.
ask that cabbage farmer if he'd like us to go help him sell cabbages, and we can give him the cabbage seeds we bought as you're doing good, keep it up.
You're gonna.
Well, they're out of season, but yeah, we could try.
You're gonna trade cabbage seeds to a man with cabbages.
Let's give him some cabbage seeds.
Don't understand me, Dresden.
Well, I'm just saying, I think he probably has a bunch of cabbage seeds in those cabbages. I think that's how farming works.
I think the issue, though, is that literally,
I don't think that's how cabbages work.
Well, then where do cabbages come from?
They come from seeds, but they don't grow more seeds when they grow. It's not like a tomato or an apple. them's got seeds in them. You ever eat a cabbage and find a cabbage seed?
Okay.
You absolutely talentless buffoon.
Walk with me.
We have
for a second.
this.
All right. Where did the cabbages come from then?
They came from a seed, but that not every fruit has its own seeds inside of it to grow more.
No.
Dresden,
Wait,
you're starting to sound like an elf right now. You're starting to sound like an elf where you're just like, literally, anything they say, they're like, really? But why does that happen? Why is that a thing, though, for you? Why?
I think this is actually worthwhile, though, because apparently cabbages come from nowhere.
This is irrelevant. Semantics, okay? It doesn't matter
All
if
I'm
cabbages
saying
come
is
from seeds or an
those
egg
cabbage seeds might
or
be
from the
most-
sky.
They might be worth more than gold, is all I'm
They
saying.
might be.
I'm gonna fucking kill
Notwithstanding.
you in your sleep. I'm gonna kill you in your
The
sleep.
next time we're planning, I'm gonna start questioning you the way you're questioning us right now and see how you feel about it. Because you're literally, everything we say right now, you're like,
Gonna
but
find
why
out.
is that?
Good
Why?
Yeah, that's how we
God.
plan. It's called planning.
No, it's not called planning.
Listen,
So-
hear
It's
me
called
out.
being slightly douchey. But let's
that
move on.
probably prepared you guys for when you went in there, right?
What?
What was the
Apparently
question?
not, because they brought up the cultists.
Okay. I spent most of my life as a nomad. Hear me out.
Okay.
We can be a group of nomads.
That's great.
That's all we need.
Okay.
What are we doing? We're wandering. We're nomads.
You have
Where'd
that
we come
history.
from?
Yeah,
I don't know. Timbutin?
our wagon.
First Ron? Take your pick.
Well,
Some
hopefully
random
not
place that
cities
we
that-
haven't really been to, but they probably haven't been to either. So it's probably okay.
Yeah.
Do you
But
think
do
we
need
should
to know where we've
enter-
been most recently?
Do you think we should enter through the gates or on our ship, though? If we change the ship, do you think they'll recognize it?
No.
Just leave it out? All right.
People can recognize ships, especially when they've bashed a hole in the side. They're like, I remember that one. I fucked it up. At least I
Yeah.
remember people I fought. And I'm like, it's got a scar. That was
I
me.
mean, realistically, where we have been could have been the woods for the past 6 weeks because we took the boat down, and if we were nomads, we would have come over land and it would have taken a lot longer. And I don't know, we could even say we came from wherever.
I like
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, but it does.
But it
A
does.
little. Well,
Then
because
you
we're going
come
to
up
ask
with the
us,
story, Dresden.
okay, what do we know about the land? What did we learn from the
I'm not
farm?
answering any more questions. Whatever story you want to use, we're going to use that one.
Jesus,
I'm done.
You're gonna get us killed. You're gonna get us killed. All right.
Sure.
How did it go?
said-
How did it go when there were two of you? How did the questioning go when there were two of you? Was it a little difficult to keep your story straight? Imagine
Not
if
really.
all of us. Not really. You got
We're not in
all these
jail, is we?
Questions.
Yeah, but we had our story straight.
Did you?
Yeah, it's not our fault they wanted to know more when we didn't have more to give them.
I rest my case.
That's a stupid case.
All right. Look, we just have to have nomads is fine. How did we meet each other? Where are we coming from? That's all we really need. Work with
Yeah.
me.
You
Yeah.
don't like any of our suggestions, so you do it. You do the
No,
work.
I think he's right. Let's just go with the truth. We came from Seashell Daye. When were we there? I don't know. 3 months ago. We've been traveling overland ever since. We had a cart. It broke down. 6 miles out of town. We've been walking ever since.
That's
That's
great.
why we're dirty.
Great.
Great.
Fantastic.
How did we meet?
Let's
long-
say that let's say
Nomading.
it broke.
I don't know.
Let's say it
How
broke
long-
down like a long ways away because I don't
Yeah,
want them to be
yeah.
like, oh, it's 6 miles away. We'll go find it for you to fix it. You know, we'll just keep it.
16 miles away.
Yeah.
Either way, if it took it, how long, DM? How long do you think it would have taken us to walk from Seashell Daye if we're
Oh,
like we walk? you know?
It was 3 days and 72 miles per day.
Yeah, a few weeks if you were really trudging, because
Okay.
there's not really a road.
And
up
how long
there
ago
in Urban.
did the ambush go down?
How long ago the ambush go down?
Yeah.
About 4 days ago,
Okay, so
approximately.
if we had left weeks ago, we would have
Yeah.
no knowledge of that. That's perfect.
No idea. Yep.
It took us 3-4 weeks. We've been taking our time. It took us longer because our cart broke down. They had me
Great.
pulling it, and I pulled it into a rut, and the wheel broke.
Yeah, and that was days ago.
We
Maybe
had-
a week
we
ago.
had-
Waiting me.
We had this knight pulling our cart for us.
Yeah.
This really is beefy boy.
Yeah. How do you think you get so big? All right, that's all we need. And
Great.
then what do we remember the towns are? What are my notes? On the way down.
Top bottom.
Well, we
Yeah,
didn't go
the
there.
top bottom is about 10 miles north from us right
Okay.
now, and then above that is Floggen.
But we didn't necessarily have to have gone through there. I don't
thought
think.
it was south of
No, I
Floggen.
mean if there's only
Or I
one
thought
road,
Floggen was south.
we would have taken the road.
No. It goes. You go 10 miles up top bottom, and above that was Floggen.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, what if
Right-
we took
right,
the
Trust?
coast?
Yeah.
Well, because it's fucking wilderness. So, have you ever walked a cart on the beach?
Yeah. Like a
You
lot.
put a cart on the beach. Do you have
I
those
mean,
big-
near the beach, you
fire?
don't put it right on the beach. You put it in the dirtier part, a little bit away from the beach. You know, maybe a half mile from the coast. You don't put it right on the sand. I mean,
Well,
sand.
we were just off the coast. What did the coast look like, James?
The coast here, again, has that. There's a ton of driftwood. Remember, the coast here was like a giant crumple of different pieces of wood that almost looked like barricades and such, just scattered all over the beachfront.
It made it really hard to take our cart through.
Okay, answer me this, just in the world in general. Do people travel on roads mainly, or do they cut through the fucking...
For the most part, yeah, you travel on a road. It would be very hard to take a cart not using a road, just because that's generally what carts were made for. There are people who can do it on certain terrains. It would have been tough. I mean, you would have had to have at least some sort of draft animal to pull it up and down
It died.
the hills.
Yeah, our
For
primer...
one beefy boy.
Yeah.
Primer have died.
Yeah,
Primer
that's
hoof
why
died.
we're delayed.
It ate too much honey.
Perfection. He
Okay.
ate the wrong jam.
So
He
let's
ate
just
our
say we took
poison
the
jam.
road because there's no penalty. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not suspicious.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying, right?
we took the road.
Yeah, we took the road. There was Frandazzle or something. I gotta write that down because James is gonna ask me because he's a piece of shit.
Fran Japan for what was it called?
What
It
is
was,
it?
so
Angels?
10 miles north. Not 10 miles north is top bottom,
bottom.
and then above that is Flargen.
Flargen. God damn it. How
Largan.
And the guy said, if you go jogging in Flargen, you're asking for it. That was the expression he used.
Like a come on?
What's jogging?
I don't know.
What did he look like here when he said that? How far is Flargen from top bottom? Did we know? I think the guy told us. Did we know, James?
Mm-mm. He never
No,
said
okay.
Okay.
exactly.
It's far.
A
He
distance.
just said literally beyond that is Flargen.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's let's go.
Okay,
Here's the
so
only
just so I
thing.
get the.
I guess do we think that they're going to be looking for us? Specifically us. Do you know what I mean?
It seemed like they have they might have an allegiance with the Ashen Riders because they're also very into Mayan.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
All right. Well, I'm not going to put any armor on or anything like that. I'll just keep it
That's
in
smart.
keep it in my bag. Let's just try to not look crazy not us, but just a little not us.
Okay.
Trust.
Look very common.
Can you get rid of the horns?
Someone want to be
Yeah.
fat and carry me on their belly?
What?
Well, no, just you can use. Do you have disguise self?
Yeah, I've got
No?
disguise
Okay.
self. That's what I did before. Oh no, not me. All right.
Yeah, trust has disguise self. Cornelia, I can go. Let's go ahead and I have a whole kit here of makeup. So let's go ahead and disguise you, make you kind of look a little bit more like a commoner, like you've been traveling for a long time, dirty you up a little bit, and you'll be fine.
All right. Just watch the hair.
Sure thing. And just so I don't screw up. So the story right now is that we're coming from Timbleton. We came all the way down, and now we're here to we're kind of just traveling. We're kind of just nomadic. We're just going around and traveling, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
Cool. All right.
And
Just making sure.
let's maybe, for continuity's sake, let one person do most of the talking. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just let one person do most.
Fine. All right, sounds good.
Oops. Cornelia, are you okay?
Yeah, I had a
It's weird.
call in my throat.
Something weird in your throat.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All right.
put my comically large top hat on instead of my plumed hat, and kind of maybe just pull my shoes off and kind of roll with it that way.
Yeah, I'll switch out to some other comic clothes I have. I bought that like leather cap a long time ago, like the leather one with the little things on the sides. Leather cap, just like some very common looking dirty clothes. I'll make Cornelia also look very common and like dirty her up, and put some makeup
Can you give
on.
me a
make her look
scar?
little bit-
I want a scar.
Yeah, I can give you a little scarf if you want.
I can give you a scarf you want.
Oh God.
Just Kellwise backs away from Trust. No, Rezek, just makeup. That'll be fine. Thank you.
Right. You got it.
Agent of Chaos. Gotta do twice of the work because Pup's not round.
Oh, yeah, and I'll use Alter Self to look like just like a very generic looking dude. Just like shaggy brown hair, very like.
I'm gonna disguise self to look like a little old lady.
Okay.
Nice.
One other thing I thought of, really quick before we go in, was, are we gonna try to get to the boat just right from the shore, or do we need to sneak kind of far away, maybe even outside of the city, to get over to the boat? Kind of come in the long way. And it's more of a question about how patrolled the dock is going to be.
We just have to look, right?
Yeah, I think once we're all able to like look together, we should in the wherever we're staying, form a little bit of a plan. I think the best route's probably just going around from one of the taverns into the water and around, but we'll see.
Okay.
Well, let's get in and get some food. I'm hungry. Let's go.
All right, let's go. I am starving. Yes.
You guys pop out, and immediately when you pop out, you see 4 very young children, wide-eyed, just staring at you, and one of them goes, "Ah! Again!" and throws her hands up like this, and they go running off. And you look around, and there's really no one else. Just these 4 kids running off into the distance.
I feel we should try to like wait before we pop out next time. If like we keep just popping out and people keep seeing us, we should just wait.
I think it's one of those things. I think it's just
it's just one of those things. Yeah.
Oh, he's all right with. All right.
You gonna be all right, Trust?
I'm gonna be all right. You might not be all right.
Jesus Christ. And the rivalry has begun.
You guys are gonna do great.
I think it's gonna be fun.
This is what happens when Pup's not here. Trust and Dresden
You
murder
guys,
each other.
Hold it together. We
murdering
can do
anyone.
this.
Turn the corner and you
darkest
see the guard, same guard. It's maybe a little later in the day, but the same set of patrols, same guard on the ramparts and such, still as keen-eyed as ever, waiting for you guys. And you get into what looks like a short queue to enter the city, and you hear that voice, that same voice off in the distance, Trust and Rezek.
Is there another entry?
Theron, kind of just questioning people as they walk in, and this seems like a good place to go on our 15-minute break. We're gonna go on a quick break. Basically, leaving the
Throwing a rock
episode
one.
right where we began, entering the
Oh
city.
my God.
About to get questioned.
It's just enough time to forget our alibis and our backstory. It's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
All
All right.
Anybody
All
would
right.
know.
The gimp.
Everyone. The gate stands before you. You see,
Meteor.
you immediately get into line. Describe to me each what you look like really quickly. Trust, you had said you were...
My name's Betty Black, and I'm an elder of the Nomad tribe, and I would watch the children if there were any. That's all I'm good for.
Okay,
Maybe that's why we don't have children.
I am going to be Dresden's fake persona's brother, Eli Elton, and I just like very, very common looking. I got shaggy like hair, like just very like whatever looking guy.
Whatever looking
I would describe him as a whatever-looking guy.
Yeah, this is very
All right,
whatever. Imagine whatever looking guy, and that's that guy.
I see
He's
it.
adopted.
Yeah.
Okay. Kelwise, what are you looking like?
I'm playing Eric Karate. I didn't have a whole lot that I could do with myself because I don't have any sort of change, spells
Fair
to make
enough,
myself
but you
look
still
different.
have
But
that-
I put on a nice big top hat, a large stovepipe hat that I had as a costume from earlier. I'm gonna
Okay.
take my shoes off, go sans shoes. I'm gonna keep most of my normal clothes on, so my kind of just like tunic. But yeah, I think I kind of stowed the leather armor away, to make myself less obvious. Kind of dishevel myself, maybe roll around in the dirt a couple times, as if I wasn't dirty enough already. We're good to go. I'm used
Okay.
to this. This is my life.
Okay, so you rolled around the dirt. Cornelia, what do you look like?
So I have my basic clothes on as well, which are very dirty. And Rezik had put makeup on me. I'm not sure if he made it
Rezik,
look
roll a d20.
very visible.
Add your
or
percent. What's that word?
Performance.
Well, whatever add +3.
performance.
Okay, just a +3. Yeah. That would be 17.
17. Okay.
Nix that name
makeup looks
actually. Strike Eric Karate from your names. I'm now Chrysler Sebring.
Chrysler Sebring. All right.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
And Dresden, what are you doing? You took your armor off?
Well, I never had it on because we hiked like half a
that's
day
true.
or longer here. So that's just stowed pack. I'm just leaning into what we basically have done the whole day to get there, and then just gonna make sure that I put some like dirt in my hair and make that red not so visible.
Okay, and you have that big axe still, your hernia
Oh
axe.
yeah, yeah,
Just
good
like
call.
that's really not. There's really no way to hide that.
I just throw it into the field.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
You kind of
All
throw
right.
the hernia axe into the fields.
Okay.
No, I just
Um,
leave it where it's a very good reminder. Yeah, when we're way the fuck off, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck.
Okay.
I just
Yeah. So you guys
Well, I mean-
approach, and you hear, you see the same man, big tome in his hand, ink-stained glove, with a quill in it. Theron, who looks uncannily like Sean Connery.
now he does.
Now he does. Walks up to you. Ah, new faces I see.
Is it morning? Is it afternoon?
It's afternoon, late afternoon maybe. Sun probably going down in a couple hours.
Afternoon.
Ah, so what is your business here in Caravella Town?
We're just wandering down the coast. Figure pick up some supplies, see the city, maybe move on through.
Interesting group you've got here.
Yeah, you could say that. And I sort of look at them all, really take them in, give them that look like, don't fuck this up, guys. Don't. When my head's like not, when my face isn't visible, it's like, we can do this. We can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where have you been traveling from?
Traveling south down from originally Timberton, made it through Floggen,
Timberton.
top by. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim. Yeah.
Timberton is at the Savage Coast.
Yeah, it's a ways up.
Yes. This one, he kind of motions to Trust. She made it all the way from Timberton. It's pretty
Well, we
hard.
had a start.
Sorry ass most of the way.
I'm sprier than
Yeah.
I look. Been traveling all my life.
Yeah.
Well, it must be. You
But if you
see
wanna
anything
travel about
on the
a
roads
week
around
north.
here?
You can have a broken cart.
Well,
What?
You see anything out of the ordinary of sorts? Maybe unnatural on your journeys down here?
Oh,
There's talk
natural.
of beastmen up in that parts.
Beastman. No, thankfully.
Children's tales.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about that, but no, thankfully, it's one of the reasons we travel in numbers. People tend to leave you alone.
Clearly. Are you aware of the Sun Dreamers?
The one?
The Sun Dreamers. Recently, a band of cultists and no-do-gooders have been raising a stir in the city. We're just trying to get some information on them.
Whereabouts are they?
Well, if I knew that, they wouldn't be there anymore.
Well, I'm just
Mostly
wondering
the
if
farm
if
towns.
we head south out of
reporting-
here, will we have to worry about them?
Well, I'm sure if you're heading outside of the town, they'd leave you alone. It seems like they're mostly trying to sow discontent with the farmlands. Some of it has spread into our city, but
So rabble
we will
rousers.
we will nip it in the bud soon enough.
Sure. All right. Well, thanks for the heads up. We'll keep our eyes out.
All right. Well, welcome to Caravella Town. I hope
Thank
your coin finds a good home here.
Sure it will.
Well met. May the lady watch over you.
May the lady watch
He
over us
motions
all.
the next group.
We're moving. We're moving.
Okay,
We
you
would be
guys walk
moving.
through. Yeah, you guys walk through. Doesn't seem to be anyone stopping you. No one's looking twice.
All right. Well, that went
You
well
notice
enough.
there's a group of kids kind of peering from alleyways and such, just kind of eyeing you guys, sizing you up. And Kelwise, you see one
watch-
kid particularly look at you, up and down, and all the dirt all over your clothes. Just kind of like rolls their eyes and walks away.
Teenagers, man.
Kids in this town are pretty, yeah.
It's dirty
yeah, just
outside.
watch-
As you yell after the kid into the alleyway.
All right,
Loser.
And watch your pockets around here. People, they got some street urchins once in a while.
Put my-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, tuck my coin purse in my pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Oh man.
Actually, yeah, we probably were all doing that for forever because of Cornelia.
Well,
We
Alright.
made it.
Yeah. Shall we find a? It's early evening, you said.
Late afternoon.
Okay.
Didn't you guys say you got a bunch of questions when you came in? I mean, that's pretty easy. It's pretty
All right.
straightforward.
I would like
Let's-
to
let's-
kick Calwise in the shin.
All right, roll an attack.
It's a 1. God, I'm just so.
To the fumble chart. Roll a d100.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't have.
Oh, I
mine
hope you don't
now.
lose an eye because you tried to kick me in the shin.
All right. Kelwise.
Wait, what do I? Yeah, do you have your D100? I don't have mine right here.
Kelwise, roll a d100.
Oh gosh.
Or
where's
percentile
our-
dice.
Hold on.
1 plus something? Can we change that natural 1 to a... I don't know. I don't know.
23.
23. Trust. Roll a dexterity saving throw. Oh, I think you're muted.
10.
A 10. So you go to kick Kelwise, and Kelwise just kind of whoa, like steps out of the way, and you overexert yourself. You kick right into a basket of tomatoes that this guy has in this near the kind of side of the kiosk, and then you go stumbling over and fall on a couple of those tomatoes yourself, and a few of them just kind of blotch themselves onto your clothing.
All right, Granny, come over here. Come on, Granny.
Who would
Granny,
trip
get up.
an
Come
old
on. Come on.
lady? Who would trip an old lady?
And
Come on,
this
Granny,
man
come
kind of
on,
comes
let's
over.
go.
Oh, my tomatoes. Are you all right, miss?
I think so. Oh,
It's all
who would
right,
trip
it's
an
all
old
right.
lady?
Get you cleaned up.
It's all right, Granny. No,
thank
we'll
you.
take care of it. We'll take care of it. We got it. And I'm just gonna kind of like just make sure we all kind of surround her, and I'm gonna give them
No.
here are a few copper for your produce there. Sorry about that.
Well, thank you very much. Sorry about that, mum. Kind of starts
No,
putting the
no
tomatoes back
worries,
into his
no worries.
basket. And picks them up.
I should
Alright,
trust
guys.
the glare.
All right, you guys, come on, everyone, just same team. We have to do this for Pup, all right? Let's get through this, all right?
All right. We got a place to stay, maybe. At least a place to come back to and meet up if things go south.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
you
go.
said You rented a room, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, that one's kind of bust though. Let's just go to. We can go to the same place, but let's just get a different room because that one we can't go really back there. So.
Well, then let's just go to a new place. It's a whole
Yeah,
city.
so we go to a new place.
Sure, yeah. Let's go to the palace instead. Then it was a little bit fancier, so it might be
Palace?
expensive, but yeah.
Sounds fancy.
There were 3.
3 palaces.
No, there were 3. There were 3 taverns, and that was one of them.
Ah. Well, lead the way. But don't
All
look
right.
like you're leading the way.
Yeah. Come on, guys, let's go.
Are there street vendors? I know
So
there's
you-
street vendors, but
There's
are there
street
people
vendors,
selling
yeah.
food?
Yeah,
I want
all
to grab
up
like
and
a
down.
corn on a stick or I don't know.
Yeah, do they have corn dogs?
On a
Yeah.
stick.
I want to look for a corn dog.
Kelwise, you notice the smell of something bubbling, something almost crispy and salty. And you walk over and you see this one man has like almost a cauldron in a small, what looks like iron fire pit with lots of logs just being thrown in, bubbling this what looks like oil. And you smell something very strong, but almost inviting. Something almost like a dairy, and he pulls this string out, and you see these golden brown, something crisp, this long, almost cylindrical item, and the smell is intoxicating. As this man starts hanging up these long lines of these fried golden crisps.
Sausages.
Sir, I don't know what those are, but how much are they?
Oh, it's a pepper meat stick. Here, a couple each.
Give me 2, 1 for each
2?
hand.
2. All right.
And he wraps them in this these leaves, these small little leaves to keep your hands from getting greasy, and they're pretty hot. And he hands them to you. You hand him 2 copper, and the smell is fantastic.
Did he call that a pepper meat stick?
That's what I heard.
Peppermint.
Peppermint stick? But pepper meat stick?
I don't know. Can I taste one and tell him if it's a yeah.
Yeah, so you take a bite, and you get this. It's almost like a dried jerky inside that's been wrapped in what you assume to be this almost a bell pepper, a very strong pepper that's a little spicy, not too spicy, and then there's just the hint of what you assume is a peppermint planted. It gives it almost like a fresh taste to it,
Yeah.
but then the outside is this golden breading that you assume is maybe made out of like either flour or a potato meal or something like that. And as you bite into it, just the oil coats your mouth in this salty, delicious wave of flavor.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
can feel
There's a little peppermint in it. There's a little bit. There's a little.
and
That's
it's
mostly
not
meat.
it's almost just enough peppermint to leave maybe like a fresh taste in your mouth afterward. It's almost an aftertaste.
It's like an after dinner mint and your entree in the same meal. Well, I have 2, 1 for each hand. You're gonna have to go get your own.
I already put money on the counter.
Yeah. So you put money on
Cough it
the
up,
counter, and
man.
he starts coughing up pepper meat sticks.
Yes, please.
And you can feel the protein flowing
Yeah,
through
yeah.
these things.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, Kelwise is like Edward 40 handsing it, just like 2 hands with just meat.
Fantastic.
All right.
The napping took a lot out of me.
You guys
Lot of-
you guys
lot of sleeping
continue
today.
down the street. And you turn that corner, and you see Captain's Row is there, and those 3 taverns that you'd seen before in that immediate area. And the rest of you start to smell the smells of like the smoked fish. There's a bunch of oysters and other seafoods, as well as gumbo, and that line for gumbo seems to have waned quite a bit, as it looks like the person cooking that kind of stuff is kind of scraping the bottom of this big iron cauldron.
All right, let's find a place to stay.
Great.
Right,
Yeah. It's just the palace is just right here.
Let's head in.
So you start to head to the palace, and you know it had those big double doors, and these doors are painted like with a pure white, almost flecks of gold shimmering through the door. And you open this
Are we gonna
door,
get yelled at
and
if we
immediately
look
you have there's about four men in nice clothing, uniforms, but they're clearly
Never
muscle,
mind.
standing at the door, and they just look at you.
Yeah.
Especially at Kelwise. And
Yeah,
one of them just one of them looks right at you, Dresden, and just kind of like,
Yeah, this isn't where I parked my cart.
Yeah. Doesn't fit our backstory. Never mind.
And they close the doors.
Why does everyone keep looking at me funny?
Because
Well,
you
you're
rolled
funny.
around in dirt.
You're dirty as hell, dude.
It's dirty
There's a small
outside.
dust. There's a
Well,
small
yeah.
dust cloud kind of following you wherever you
Yeah,
go.
you're
So I
pig
mean,
right now.
Okay. I'm gonna run outside and go just like shake myself off. Yeah, anyway, everyone else can do their thing. I'm gonna go clean myself off because I'm
You
attracting
dust
too much
yourself
attention.
off. A lot of people just kind of looking at you, trying to avoid you as you're just shaking in the street, twerking yourself back and
It was
forth.
dirty.
And
all right.
you rejoin the group. Significantly cleaner than you were before.
So yeah, we'll go to
less lanky.
the seasick. Yeah, let's go to the seasick well instead.
Okay, you head to the Seasick Whale, and the place is packed. And it's strangely silent in here now. And you see people just kind of jumping up and trying to look into this place. And there's just a general sense of awe and tension in the air. Are you guys going up?
Yeah.
Okay,
what
so
they're
you guys
doing.
kind of look around, and there's no way into this place, and even some people like looking out windows and such.
Even me, tiny
And,
sneaking in.
I'll tap someone
Cornelia,
on the
you
shoulder.
might be able to sneak in, but there's a wave of people. You might get lost in a
Lost.
wave of
Okay,
bodies if you go in.
I'll get lost.
But you can for sure weave your way through the legs of people.
I feel like I heard Cullen say that, and I'm be like, alright. I was gonna hold on to his leg.
I'll pick her up, put her on my shoulders.
Okay, you pick her up and put her on your shoulders. Trust and Kelwise, you guys, same, just cannot see into this place. Dresden, because you're quite a bit taller than most people, you
Can I see
can.
anything up top?
Yeah, can you see anything up there?
So you're sitting up there, Cornelia, and Dresden, you and Rezik can kind of see through the crowd. You see this man in what looks like just a white robe tied with a simple belt and a beard super long. It's thin, but it goes all the way down almost to his stomach and then winds around once, clearly almost glued in this weird fashion. And he's got these crazy blue eyes that are piercing, and you can see this even through the firelight, through this place. And there's a little bit of a murmur in the crowd, and he holds his hands up quickly, and the room goes silent. And you hear...
It's a performer.
And he starts to walk back and forth, deep in thought, contemplating over and over his words. And he walks over to a minstrel on the side, and he taps him on the shoulder, whispers something into his ear, and you hear him start to play a song, and The air is tense at this point. He's playing a song that's not soothing. It's a little discordant. And he looks at the crowd again, stroking that huge, long beard that wraps up and back around on itself.
It's a weird beard.
Hello, my good people of Caravella Town.
And everyone looks with the sense of awe at them all.
Oh my god, it's fucking Captain Seafloor.
Sounds like the lady whose sweet dress we stole.
I'm having flashbacks.
He lives.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Let's get out of here.
PTSD from the lady.
And he's just kind of taking in the crowd. It seems like he's very sure of himself, as if he knows they're all waiting, hanging, like people are just hanging off every word. It's basically dripping with anticipation in this room.
This
Already.
This is a tale from the age of adventure. I am the master fabler, and I shall ordain your ears with a treat.
He's altering them, all right.
A time full of might and magic, dungeons and dracoliths. A time when the stars could pierce the noon sky, and 3 moons will illuminate the night. This is a story of the Crimson Beast of Crosseb.
And you start to hear the crowd just erupt in murmurs and excited people going back and forth. And he's just stops and starts pacing again, waiting for them. You guys are free to stay if you'd like and listen to the story, or you can move on, or you can try and get a room. What are you guys doing?
I think we want to try and get a room, but we also kind of want to hear this. Can we do both? Can we just shimmy across the back?
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna be like very hard. It'll take you a while. You could probably start shimmying through, and most people are like,
Yeah, it's just like
Stop
while we're
pushing.
listening, we're
We
just
got
kind of
"Stop pushing, bro." So you guys start to move, yeah, and again his hands go up in silence.
100 feet wide, 3 stories high, with feathers the color of old blood, talons harder than crowstone, and a beak that could rend the strongest of armor plates as if they were soggy parchment. This
Brother, keep
was the
talking about your mom.
Crimson Beast. Part she-witch, part demon with the yellow eyes of a snake. It was said she could swoop down and swallow a dozen men whole in an instant with nary sound nor warning. Well, as you can imagine, this did not bode well for the kingdom of Crosseb. Merchants and travelers all stopped coming to the kingdom, unwilling to risk near certain doom. Even its citizens were driven off by slaughter or famine, abandoning the blood and sacrifice of dozens of generations. Well, in a desperate attempt to save the kingdom, Queen Zestina of Crosseb offered 100,000 gold pieces, a true fortune, and the title of Baron to any who could vanquish the beast. Well, it wasn't long before merchants came from far and wide. Thousands passed through the doors of the great copper Crosseb. Dreams of riches and glory bright in their eyes. But week after week, well-trained mercenaries would adventure forth, summon bands of over 10 fists. But week after week, they would return as shattered remnants of their former selves, if they returned at all. Months passed, and Crosseb waned, its capital now swollen with thugs, mercenaries' nose broken by the beast. Well, the green seasons passed all too quickly, and a winter darkness loomed on the horizon. But as Mayan's constellation rose into the morning sky, a new group came to Crosseb. 5 indomitable souls destined for legend.
And as you hear him talking, someone in the back yells, "Brains of the Third Star! Brains of the Third Star!" And someone, "Shh! Shut up! Shut up!" And the guy just... It doesn't bug him. He smiles, wrings his hands, and just waits. And everyone, you hear him like, "Shut up, man! Shut up! Listen to the story." He just looks around.
Well, these 5 set to work right away, planning their assault on the Crimson Beast, undeterred by the doomsayers or the laments of drunken, broken men. But attacking the beast was nigh impossible, you see. It brooded atop the snow-covered spire of Mount Gygus, foiling any attack before it began, and to lure the beast out was to invite ruin. But in spite of this, and after only 3 days of preparation, this new group of 5 set out to vanquish the beast. They crossed the threshold of the great corridors of Crosseb and ventured into the beast's domain. Swoosh! Not a half-day's ride from the city, the Crimson Beast set upon them. 2 riders shot through the forest like bolts of lightning, taunting the beast they weaved in and weaved out, to and fro as they pushed their steeds to the limit. 3 times the beast assaulted, and 3 times it came up wanting. A testament to the rider's skill, but with each horrific dive, the beast closed in, drawing ever closer to its prey. And when the gap between man and beast had become impossibly small, and the riders could feel its searing breath pressed upon their backs, death, a purifying fire, descended from the very heavens itself. You see, the beast was the queen of the skies, but it never thought to look for an attack coming from beyond the clouds. With an explosion of fire and ash, the group's leader plunged a flaming spear the size of a galleon's mast into the beast from above, tearing it from the sky, pinning it to the earth, where it burned alive. The beast was vanquished, and the lands were saved. All of Crosseb looked up to see a divine omen in the morning sky, the 3 stars of the Lady Mayan's constellation piercing through the black, billowing smoke of the ruined Crimson Beast. Thus the party became known as the Blades of the 3rd Star. And who led this legendary group of heroes, you ask? Why, of course, it was Elazar. Elazar the Deathless. And with that, the whole crowd... And the crowd goes crazy, and you see that old man holding his hands in the air just kind of slinks into the crowd and leaves the stage. And the whole place is now in this giant uproar as the tavern owner, the man playing the song starts up a much more jaunty style tone song, almost a dance tune. As you guys, the whole place starts to go up, and you lose sight of this guy instantly.
And he just splits. He just
splits.
Just want to turn to the closest guy, and it's like, does he just do that? Does he just like, boom?
This guy's like, what? Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, the story's done, so like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
There's
no
no
back.
no
Does he
encore.
just show up? Like, have you ever just woken up and he's at your door, just like?
Is he on a
I mean,
schedule?
This is
What
the
does he
first
do?
time I've actually caught him. I've heard stories about him. Like,
Okay.
I'm only in town, like, once every, like a week. I'm not from here. I'm from Oddgarad, so I've heard stories. This is the first time I've actually caught him. Yeah, apparently
wow.
he just pops up.
You're coming from
Yeah.
far. What are you
Nice.
here for?
Working a barge.
Yeah.
Just,
He's a bargeman.
yeah.
That's fine. Hey,
Right.
you ever stay here?
Stay here? No. I mean, it's a little pricey. I don't mind
Yeah.
just staying on the boat.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, I spend a good half hour or so in the rooms, if you know what I mean. Looks to Dresden and kind of ribs him a few times. You know what I mean.
No, what do you mean?
With
Nice,
some
dude. Nice.
company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all the stay I need. That's
That's
about
good.
most of my wages too. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
The story that he told, is it one I'm familiar with or no?
Yeah, that would be a story you're pretty familiar with. The origins of Elazar the Deathless and the Blades of the 3rd Star, which is like You know, you've probably heard a bunch of tales from the Age of Adventure, which is like some arbitrary term for basically all the time Elazar and his band of 5 were like riding around the world doing all these incredible things that you're like, some of these stories you've heard a million times and you're like, these are old. There's probably some truth to these, or at least some basis for them. And some of the stories, like especially like newer stories you haven't heard before, will pop up and you're like, nah, that there's no way. Like that's you start to get a sense for like the older stories and their flows, and some of the newer stories, and just like sometimes they make too much sense and you're like, nah, there's too many details. I know the story's fake because of the details that you have. Like you just have too many, because you're used to flourishes.
Too many details.
But yeah,
Them deets.
but
I like how like Blaze of the First Star or the Third Star is kind of like this town's like stairway to heaven. They just go, Blaze of the Third Star, and someone just starts telling the story.
All right. Well, thanks, Bargeman. Head over to the
man.
to the bar. Or...
Yeah, I'm gonna head over to the brothel. See you later.
Hey, don't catch anything you don't want to catch. Yeah, let's.
Trust you're gonna be safe, sir.
And he kind of looks at you like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Walks off.
Yeah, let's make it over to the.
Okay,
to
yeah,
whoever
and
owns this joint.
now the master fabler has
Leave the
basically
creepy
like just
Bargeman alone.
disappeared. The place, it doesn't empty, but there's significantly less people just kind of wandering around. So you guys make your way to the bar, and you see that same bartender from earlier. All right, what can I have you?
Helen, listen.
What do you be having?
Is this the place that you guys? I thought we were going to a different place. Okay. Hey, ales all around, I guess. What's the special? Some sort of
Ale.
tasty?
Look, we serve en masse. You know what I mean?
Wait,
We
this
don't
is
have
a church?
time. We don't have time for fancy stuff here.
All right, ales. Ales it is.
Ales it is.
Who do we talk to if we need
fine.
to stay?
Looking for a room?
Yeah.
5 silvers a piece.
All right.
You
How
need
many
one
rooms
room?
does that get us?
2 rooms?
What are there? 5 of us? You
yeah.
got a room that'll hold 5?
Not comfortably.
Nah, we're not really used to being comfortable anyway.
All right, well, suit yourself. Won't be none cheaper.
That's fine.
All right.
All right. I'll flip him however much that is. What is that? 2.5 silver? 2.5
It's
gold?
2.5 gold, and then 1 more silver for the drinks.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll flip that to him.
Yeah, and I heard these rooms have very sturdy architecture too, very sturdy stuff. So I'm excited to get in there. Yep.
You an architect?
No, I just really enjoy sturdy buildings. You know, I enjoy the craftsmanship of it. Yep.
You coming on to me?
I mean, no.
You don't have to worry. He's a eunuch.
Yeah, all right. Maybe that explains why he's being all weird.
Right?
All right. And the same young girl comes out. All right, hey, I'll take you to your rooms.
Oh, thanks. Can we take the ales on the road?
Oh, yes. I'll clean those up tomorrow.
Oh, to go. Awesome. Sweet.
And she grabs a room key. The bartender explains your situation where you guys just want 1 room. She takes a key off of a rack in the back, walks you back out the back of this tavern in that same U-shaped building in the long corridor down the middle. Unlocks one of the rooms, opens it up. It's very similar to the one you had, Rezik, earlier, just with the one kind of like double, and there's a chest, a little armoire of sorts, a little dresser, and a small table and a chair. And
Windows?
again, just
Did we
one
s-
window. There's one window facing on the south side
Could we see
into
the key
just
rack?
the alleyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you can
on
see
the
the key
opposite
rack.
side of the door.
Yeah.
How
on the opposite
how
side
many
of the door.
keys were still on it?
There were maybe 4 or 5 keys still left on that.
Out
rack.
of?
I mean, you're looking down this row, and there's probably a dozen rooms.
Okay.
So about
Alright.
half full, 3/4 full, somewhere in there. Okay.
And it's just one floor, one story.
Yeah. The back is the second house is just 1 story as well.
Well, it's not as full as I was expecting. That means probably people sleeping on the boats.
Yeah, or hopefully just passed out in the alley. Well,
Can we see the alley from the window?
Yeah, there's curtains that give pretty good privacy, but you can see when you look back and forth that the moon is starting to rise in the sky, and there's still a little bit of light left from the sun, and you can see into the alleyway pretty well.
all right. What do the sailors look like?
Most of
Would
the
it be
sailors-
difficult for us to sort of change our garb to look like them-ish, even? You know, so in the dark we kind of look sailor-esque.
No, most of the sailors wear very loose-fitting, flowing clothes.
Oh.
And you can tell because the sailors' clothes just have a layer of sweat, especially around the neckline. They'll have
Yeah.
like an off-white shirt that is just dark brown, kind of all around the collar, and that's kind of their telltale. And they smell not great.
Right.
And you do
Well,
notice
we've
the
got that
hair
now,
too.
at least.
Their hair is very matted, almost like dreadlocks, or the beginnings of dreadlocks, kind of long. Most of them have long hair, and it's piecey. Like they have like a
Piecey?
thick gel that they put in their hair and then just left for like 5 or
Oh,
6
they use LA
days.
looks?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Pleasant.
All right. Hey, who's Rez? Can you make us look like that?
I feel like I looked like that, and then I made myself not look like that, and now
Yeah,
I
just
kind
go
of
back to what
wish
you
I
were.
would have
Go
gone back.
Go back to what you were.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go roll around outside again then at some point.
Yeah,
Someone
and
throw
you-
some
you-
dirt in my
well, you
hair, and
know.
I'll just.
You notice that they're dirty, but it's not dirt. It's just oily.
I have a
There's like a
disguise
sense
kit, by
of
the way. I can put,
oiliness to
like-
them.
All right.
Hit
Give me
me.
that lamp oil. Give me a little bit of that lamp oil.
For what? What are you gonna do?
I mean, what? I
don't-
need. Why are we dressing up right now like 'em?
Well, because it's almost night.
Right, can we get a sleep in? I've been using lots of disguise self spells, and if we're gonna go over there, I'd like
No.
a full arsenal.
Absolutely not. Unless I mean,
Alright.
they could leave tonight, and they're here, right?
Yeah, it's on you.
I mean, let's put it to a vote, but I mean, I don't know if we can wait.
Can I take a short rest here? Can I well, no, I can't get back spell slots. All right, well, all right.
Yeah, you'd need a full 8 hours of rest to get your spells back, unfortunately.
What do you
Well,
guys think?
The sun's going down now, which
Yeah, so
means
it's not
it's
like
late
not night yet.
afternoon. So you
Yeah.
could theoretically get 8 hours of sleep, and it would still be dark out.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
we can spend a night here and gather information to see if the Ashen Rider, if the boat's actually leaving tonight, and then maybe that'll give us time for Pup to wake up, and we can sense them and actually know exactly where they're at. But
I mean,
that's all.
it's okay. It's not the end of the world, you know.
No,
Just
that's
don't
actually.
have
I
a
forgot
lot to
about that.
do.
We do not know if Pup's even in the ship. So that's actually a very good point, Cornelia. We should get some
Yeah.
more intel. Maybe ask around the bar a little bit and just see, like, oh, hey, have you heard about these Ashen Riders? When are they gonna leave, or when are they gonna get out of here?
Yeah,
Like,
when did they get in? When are they?
Yeah.
How long do they stay?
Yeah,
Just
not this
get some more
part.
intel. Not this bar.
Yeah. We'll just, yeah.
I almost want to go. What do you guys think if I just go case the docks? I'll go put on my best Ander impression.
Yeah,
I'll go stumble around.
Do it.
Someone give me an open bottle, and I'll see what I can find out.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't like the idea of you going alone.
No.
go
Yeah, this
on.
place is pretty well guarded. I don't want to get like arrested for like being super drunk on the docks or something. I don't know how they deal with drunks around here, so
That's a good point.
maybe just be just a regular sailor who's just asking about, just stealing stuff. You know, just
Maybe
go
you're
away.
looking for work
How's
or
it going?
something,
Just
like
blend
what
in.
boat's hiring or something.
Yeah.
Blend in. I mean, look at me. I'm shorter than most everyone else here. I don't know if I can really
Yeah, but
blend
you're
in.
a sailor, so fucking be a sailor.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah. You got this.
Dirty my collar a little more. Hold on.
Kellwise, I have makeup. I can literally put makeup instead of actual dirt. You don't have to keep doing that to yourself. I have a whole disguise kit.
I think he likes it. Let him do it, Rezik. Don't yuck his
I don't
yum.
know if he does though.
It's close.
All right.
You guys get Kelwise.
Enjoy?
Sufficiently oily and dirty, like most of the sailors. And so the sun is mostly down at this point. Just a little bit of blue left in the horizon. The moon is up. There's quite a bit of light on the docks. It seems like they keep lanterns lit pretty well in this area. Most of the docks are just bright, and you do see ladies' men patrolling every once in a while up and down in pairs, walking the dock.
Is it a regular
Man.
trip?
like
Is it
doing
like every 10 minutes, every like half an hour?
Yeah,
Can I
maybe every
get
10 minutes. Every 10 minutes you see some walking. And you do
Same
see
guys?
some are posted up in very set places. And you notice that that big, huge Ashen Rider ship, or Alistar ship, is pretty well guarded still. There's about 6 men standing on the wharf that they're docked at. And the wharf is pretty long, too. That wharf is maybe 100 feet long before it even gets to the ship itself.
Has there been anyone who's gone on or off of the ship since I've...
So
been
far,
standing
no
there?
one has gone on or off the ship. And you go out there, and you see there's quite a bit of people walking around. There's some drunk people walking around, not making any too big of a commotion. But you definitely see that the drunk people are catching the eyes of the guards themselves.
Oh, he's doing it. We just.
I'm low profile.
Okay, yeah. And you notice a man in pretty tattered clothes kind of walks up to you, and his skin has been just pelted by the sun. You see this really thick, dark, brown, leathery skin that's just been in the sun, tanning basically for days and days at a time.
Hey, man. Hey. You got a little bit of that bottle for me? Huh? You up for
This one?
sharing for a guy in need? Huh?
Yeah. Here's a little left. Here you go.
Oh, thank you much.
Takes a pretty big swig of your.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Get it.
Just the ale?
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever we were able to buy downstairs that was large enough to carry out and that was self-contained in a bottle.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
Strong ale.
You
in
grab
bottle.
an ale from a bottle. You walk it through. Hands it to you. You're not from these parts, are you? Huh? Ain't never seen you
Not.
before on these docks, and I remember everyone. Got the keen eyes.
I mean, it's a big city, so I'm surprised by that. But no, you're right. I'm not from here. What about yourself?
Yeah, I grew up here. Yeah, me. This is my home. Oh, thank you much.
Grew up
thank
here?
you much.
Here?
Mhm.
You're from here?
Oh, yeah, on these streets, these very streets.
Tried and true local. I've never met one. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Oh, go by many names. Hey, call me a rat on the streets. Here?
Rat? That's not a good name. You got a
Why
not
not?
a human name? Or a whatever you are name?
What's your name?
Sebring. Chrysler. Nice to
Sebring.
meet you.
Well, that's not a very good name. You got a human name?
It's a great name.
See? How
I'm
does
not
that
a human,
feel?
I'm a halfling.
Well, you're a half human.
True. Fair. Rat doesn't even make you half human, though. Anyway, semantics of names. Nice to meet you, Rat.
Yeah. Yeah, so what you looking for on the docks here? I know most places. Some places, those who are not locals could not be privy to. If you know what I mean. maybe loosen your coin pouch and maybe your breeches at the same time.
I don't know what you're referring to exactly, but I don't feel like I'm in for either of those, to be fully honest with you. Had enough kids kind of trying to tug at my coin pouch earlier, and
Kids, you say?
riches are,
That's
rascals. People
that's
running
frowned
around.
upon around here, you know.
Well, it wasn't my choice. It was kids running around trying to take things from me and my compatriots. I don't know. It's just the way
No,
it
well,
was.
maybe you're not looking for what I have to offer. It was nice meeting you. Have a good one, Chrysler.
I mean, you took
half
my
human.
drink. It seems
All
like
right.
you were pretty well interested in what I had to offer. That's pretty much all I got.
And this man
Are you gonna
kinda
give me my drink
wobbles
back?
away,
You gonna give me my drink back?
and then
You gonna give me my drink back?
right, I forgot. Here you go.
Thanks.
Ha, silly me.
Thanks.
Yeah, stay out
Take
of
care of
those
yourself,
kids.
rat.
Stay away from those kids. All right. And
I'm-
walks off.
Definitely
Oh,
staying
God.
away from the children. Yes. Yeah, because they're thieves. Rat. They're thieves. Well, that was odd. Not sure what that gentleman was asking me, but I think I'll just hang here for a little bit and try to keep a more low profile than it was before.
Okay, yeah, you lay a low profile, and for the most part, no one seems to bug you. You're there. You do see a few over time, maybe over a 30-minute span. 3 Ashen Riders, still in their gray leathers, go walking up the wharf. 2 of them holding one guy, basically just drunk off his ass, kind of dragging him up the docks. They get to the guards, and you hear someone yelling something, maybe a little disgruntled, upset, and then they drag him up the gangplank and onto the dock. And then
Is he
they go
walking or
below.
is he just being dragged?
There's 2 men dragging basically one guy in the middle between them.
Okay. So he's just out. He was super drunk. He was so drunk. he didn't
Yeah,
walk
you
out.
could see his
Okay.
head like bobbing back and forth
Mhm.
every once in a while on its own, and that's all you see for about an hour walking on there. Lots of people coming in and out. Lots of Ashen Riders on the docks going back and forth, but not a lot of them going back to the boat. You start to
Does
see
it
lots
seem-
of suggestive clothing passing you by. Men and women with very particular assets being flaunted in this district.
It's a pretty big theme in this this
Yeah,
town.
and
here.
I
they've
mean,
got,
at least he didn't say children, all right?
Coin
Yeah,
pouches
it's like-
on display.
Well, you mentioned this like a
Yes.
handful of times
Coin
here.
pouches on display.
Well,
that's the big major change you
There's a
see.
port town. There's a port
Pretty
town.
expected, yeah, I would say, actually. Truth be told. Are they heading in a particular direction? Like, is there a thing going on?
It seems like most of the night workers
Uh-huh.
have little rooms and cubbies here and there in buildings that they have pre-prepared.
Okay.
They have you notice they have a very entrepreneurial spirit to them.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. I'm making mental notes, maybe of like where 1 or 2 of these cubbies potentially would be as well.
Yeah, little back doors that don't look like proper entrances, but hard to tell.
They look like exits.
There can be entrances if you're.
Look at Bobby.
A lot of phrasing in this thing. Okay, I'm gonna go report back to the group my findings, specifically that there's a lot of people of the night, shall we say.
Okay,
There's
you
a
start-
lot of hiding places, little cubbies and such, and more importantly, that very few people have gone on or off the ship.
You start to head back, and your eye is quickly drawn to something that steps into your pathway, and as you look up, a young woman, about the same height as you, clearly maybe around your age, looks up at you. She's got an interesting looking a red silk robe that is very thin material, leaving not a whole lot to the imagination. And she looks up at you, Kelwise. Oh, hello. You don't see many of your kind, or our kind, around here.
Yeah, I know. I've been getting funny looks all day. Turns out.
You have any plans for the evening?
Yeah, finish this bottle, maybe one or two more, pass out in a ditch somewhere. That's pretty much the only goal I
If you wanted
had.
to pass out somewhere maybe more comfortable, I could have that arranged.
Oh, you got like a nice bed somewhere, or good hammock.
A hammock? Well, I think I can manage something of the sort.
I'm not sure what you're suggesting exactly.
For sleeping, of course.
You just had a little bit of a sparkle in your eye when you said it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Well, thank you.
I have been drinking.
Yes. Well, it does tend to loosen personality a bit.
So it does. Well, if I need to look you up, where do I find you?
Oh, I'm around.
And what's your name?
They call me Scarlet.
Of course, because of the red.
You're smart. I like you.
No,
Do look me up.
Mm.
And she
I
kind
will.
of walks by and like throws her her hair across your face, and you smell like she smells nice. She's got like some kind of lavender rub she uses. It's real nice. You don't know where she got it, but maybe you can ask her for the details if you ever look her up.
Roger that. Tuck that in my back pocket too, and keep heading back to the group.
Okay. About an hour later, you guys notice Kelwise opens the door, comes back in.
Gotta go.
And close it rapidly behind me.
And before the scene starts, I wanted to ask, Trust, you are like just in case you are sleeping, right? Just in case we're able to get the 8 hours in.
Yeah, just in case we do a 4 a.m. heist.
Okay. So you hear Trust snoring in the background on the bed.
Wow. You're blushing. Are you okay?
Streets get a little different at night. That's all I'll say. A lot of people out there, a lot of them doing suggestive things and trying to lure you places and what have you. You can use your own imagination, or maybe just go outside, and I'm sure you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's where the soldiers go. I see.
Yeah, there's definitely a thing happening in this town. I don't think it's in one place. I think it's all over. So, people come here for a reason. More importantly, people don't seem to be coming on or off the boat very often. So at least we have that going for us.
They're off the boat already.
Presumably, I mean, there's Ashen Riders all over town, and they're hopefully finding their own accommodations for the night, or at least for a little while.
All right. Were you able to find rowboat or anything that's loose? We might be able to commandeer.
Ooh, I didn't find a loose rowboat. I, truth be told, was trying to not be accosted by people as I stood outside. So, nope, didn't do much searching for a rowboat. That being said, I don't know. Can I check it? It's still there. We're okay.
Did you ask?
It's all still in there.
When the Ashen Riders? Did you ask how long the Ashen Riders are going to be in town for?
Ask who?
Just ask around. Just ask around and say how long are they going to be in town for? Have you heard?
How long that ship will be there?
I didn't, but I
What did you do
think
out there?
Well, I again tried to did some recon. Did a lot of looking and a lot of
No
avoiding. Not a lot of touching. A little bit of drinking and a lot of staying in the shadows because, like I said, it's a dicey place out there after night. And I mean, like I said, you'll know. You'll find out.
Great.
Anyway. Don't necessarily know if we're going to need a rowboat because we could probably just use any old thing or maybe even float on out there on a block of ice that I could create if we needed to. More importantly is how do we disguise ourselves getting out into the water?
Well, I think Rez has that covered, right? We're gonna look like nothing.
Yeah, I can do some more, just, use my makeup a little bit more on you guys, make you look like you're, rough sailor
I thought you were
types.
gonna make us like invisible, right?
Yeah, make us
I
invisible.
don't have that spell.
You said you could make us look like we weren't there.
Oh, I miss
I
Pup.
never said I can make you invisible.
Oh, I miss Pup so much. Oh.
I did notice the guards come by once about every 10
when
minutes.
when have I ever done that before?
You said you could make us look like a floating bit of nothing.
Oh,
I can do
was
that. Yeah, I can
in
use
the
an
water.
illusion. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
not
That'll work.
invisible. You're not invisible. You're underneath an illusion. Yeah, it's different.
So when they look at us, we won't be there?
Why are you so stuck on semantics recently? No,
Because
seriously, you're giving me a hard time.
Because I don't
You're giving me a
want
hard
to get
time.
killed.
What?
No, I'm
Right,
literally
yeah.
asking you. I'm asking you, Rizzik, right now. If they look at us, will they see us or they will see a fucking illusion? Will they see us?
They'll see an illusion, mates, and hopefully they don't see us underneath the illusion. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's what I'm talking about. So we'll be effectively invisible. Here's the thing.
Yeah, just
Pup
a
could
little
fucking
high.
die,
You're a
brother.
little.
Hey, look at me. Pup could die tonight. All right? So maybe I'm taking this a little too seriously, or maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, take a time out. You're getting way too high.
I'm asking you simple questions.
Go on a walk.
All right?
Go on a walk. Go on a walk for little bits.
No, apparently if I go on a walk, someone's gonna fucking tug on my coin purse. Look, I'm
Alright,
just
take it
being
down.
a little angry because I'm being serious. All right? That's the only
So am
reason.
I. So am I. You don't think I
Well, then
fucking
who's
missed up
talking
too?
about semantics? I'm saying, can you get us out there without them seeing us? And you're like, I can't make you invisible. You can make us effectively invisible. Work with me. That's all I'm asking.
Because you said, "Can you make us invisible?" I said, "No, I can't do that."
But you
I'm
can
sorry,
do
man, but
illusion.
you're really. All right.
You can do an
Anyways,
illusion.
all right, whatever. Anyways, listen, we can maybe use the. He met a bunch of people that are like ladies of the night. That could be another possible plan we can use to our
And
advantage, possibly. Maybe trick someone into an area and take their uniform. Use it to our advantage, possibly. Just thinking outside the box.
Which reminds me, Dresden, didn't you have some Ashen Rider armor a long time ago? Did we
I got rid
lose
of that. I wasn't carrying that around.
Yeah, it's a good point.
That's like carrying around a flag that says, like, hey, I shouldn't have this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So, can you get us to the side on a block of ice or something?
Yes.
Great. And you can make us hide under an illusion.
Correct.
Great. So all we have to do is look at least the part a little. So if someone bumps into us in the night while we're headed to our bunk, we can at least shrug them off, right?
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Does that plan work for you guys?
It's gonna
Works
have
for
to.
me.
The only
Yeah,
other
gonna have to
question is,
honestly.
do we do it tonight or do we do it tomorrow night? That's up to you all.
Well, let's let
Um,
just sleep, and I would say let's try it for tonight. But it's going to be a lot later. Hopefully, that gives people a significant enough time to get drunk, do whatever they're going to do, pass out,
fine by
and
me.
hopefully
Yeah.
we use the cover of night to make our trip.
If all goes bad, where do we meet?
It's a very good question.
Probably where we rode in at.
Where we were
I mean,
dropped off at?
If we can get
Yeah.
out of the city, that's the problem. If things go bad and they start raising a general alarm, they might lock down the gate. It's kind of what gates are for. you know?
yeah, that's a really good question.
Way out should probably be by sea, not through the gates.
Yeah, I mean, is there like a way that they can block off the breakwater? What does the port look like? Do you know what I mean? Can
Yeah,
they
I was
raise the
there.
chain and stop,
Is there any way to block off the bay that I was spending an hour looking at?
Block off the bay?
Yeah, like
raise the
stop our
chain,
exit.
You know.
No, not really. It's a pretty wide bay.
Great. Good. All right. Yeah. I mean, the only problem is if we try to abscond with a boat and they see it, I think that thing's faster, right?
Yeah.
So I think we go to ground. I think we all find someone, pay them, do whatever, but stay underground for a bit, all separate, and in the morning we meet at the gate.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Sound reasonable?
I think that's our only option, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. So don't lose your coin purse. You might need it.
Multiple ones.
Are we? Do we still have any wants at all to try to hinder the boat by destroying the rudder, like you were saying before?
I mean, if we can, if you can do that
it'll be
now,
tough.
if you can do that now, that'd be great. I don't think we're gonna have time. My guess, we get in and we get out. Once we're on as short as possible, and then we need to get out, right?
Just remember, the boat isn't going to come and pick us back up until dusk tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Do we need to get possibly some ropes or some kind of way to get up on the top of the ship? Or do we already have enough supplies to do that, you think?
I mean, I've got 400 feet of rope, give or take.
Oh, great. Do we need a thing on the end of those to make it stick, or are we good?
I figured we're going to use someone's mage hand, right? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, tie a knot.
It around.
Tie it on, yeah, something. Yeah,
Nice
that's a
and
good idea,
silent
yeah.
that way. Do we think,
All right, yeah.
James, would the rope be too heavy for it to carry it up? Maybe however high
No.
the side of the ship was?
No, a mage hand should be able to carry the rope up.
Okay. Yeah. So we
Okay.
float out, block of ice. You give us cover. Someone's mage hand loops a rope around. We climb it. And
Are we
start
all
to
going?
work our way down. I think maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think?
Maybe,
Otherwise,
yeah,
we post some
or-
people outside to
Yeah.
cause a ruckus, to cause a distraction, if and only if shit goes south. Do we have a way to talk amongst ourselves? Can
Yeah,
guys
if
send
we
a-
stay
send a
close
message or
enough.
something like that?
Or we have a deadline, like if it doesn't happen by such and such time, set off a signal, and then do a distraction and something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if we stay within 120 feet-ish, I can talk to people.
All right. Well, then let's count on that. What do you guys think? Split up? Leave a couple people on the dock?
Yeah, I think we need to leave at least one person on the dock to just make some kind of noise if anything like weird happens, where people are like obviously alerted, just like make some other ruckus over here to distract them. But who would that be? Should that be you, Dresden? Because you
I'm
super
the
stealthy, or I mean, you do have the elven cloak on though. That's pretty good.
And with your armor off, it's probably better.
True. I don't know. You guys are smaller. Cal-wise, you know the sea, right? I don't know that, but I do know guards.
I mean, should we do like the smaller? Oh no, I have to be with them. And so does Cornelia, because Cornelia can
You gotta
unlock
be there.
locks.
Exactly.
So me and Cornelia have to go for sure. Who else has to go?
I think Cal-wise should be there. He knows
Cal-wise
shit.
should be there.
Right?
All right.
That was Trust and I. Do you think it's better if Trust is with you or without?
I think maybe smaller. Keep it small, and then like you two on the docks, and then that way, if anything really crazy happens, you can defend yourselves against some people for a little while.
Sure.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If things go wrong in there, you guys just raise hell. Try to get up on the deck, right?
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, you get out of that thing over the side into the water. Just fucking start swimming, right? We'll deal with that when we can.
I think we'll be okay because we could probably submerge ourselves underwater and at least ride out the storm. No one's going to be able to come and get us if we're underwater.
All right.
Yeah, that is the question. Should we try to go up top and like join the battle, or should we just try to go like as far down as possible, make a hole in the bottom, and then go? No, because the water's going to come in the boats. So that's not a good idea, actually. Okay, so yeah, we'll try to go to the top, and if we really have to, we'll just jump off the side and go in the water and swim away, I guess.
Remember
That's
the portholes.
Yeah. The portholes. Yep. There you go. Yeah,
Any deck that has guns has a way out. And
that's
the stern
true. Okay.
has those windows and probably the captain's and guest quarters. So
Yeah. And the rudder as well.
Yeah. So Dres, just to be doubly cautious here. So if we hear a fight happening outside with you guys, we should go up and try to help you guys out, right?
No.
No, just escape.
You leave us alone. No. Your priority is pup. 100%.
Okay.
Do not worry or think about this. We're there in case you guys start getting fucked up, and then we raise hell outside to at least draw as many people away from you as possible.
Okay.
Right?
So main goal and only goal for us
Alarm
is get
raised.
Pop the fuck out of there.
Exactly. If the main
okay.
alarm is raised, people aren't going to know where exactly it's coming from. If we start hearing that, we're going to raise a commotion to make sure people think it's us, right?
Okay.
We'll try and charge up the gangplank called drunk or whatever it takes.
Okay, you got it. All right. Well, I mean, I think this is a pretty solid plan for what we're dealing with. So I'm pretty happy with this.
Only plan. All right.
Yeah. All right. And listen, I just want to say overall to everybody here, I know tensions have been high, right? But I care about all of you very much, and I know we all care about Pup. And I'm very, very honored that you're all willing to put your lives on the line for one of us. So thank you for all doing this. Well, seriously, honestly.
Same.
Agreed.
All right.
So-
Are you waiting the 8 hours?
I mean, if we can, if it'll get us.
What
a
would
rest.
it be like if I went to bed at like
Might be-
5?
Yeah, it might be like
Yeah.
1 or 2.
That's just like the right
middle
time
of
to
the
do it
night.
anyways, right?
That's perfect time.
If we can get
Yeah.
the rest.
So,
Yeah.
What time do the bars close? Do the bars close?
you still hear commotion. Trust, you wake up about 8 hours. It's maybe 2 o'clock. And the bar's still going strong. Sailors coming in and out of the seasick whale.
Good morning.
Oh, hello. Oh, do we figure out a plan?
Yeah, it's you and me on the dock. They're going in, and if we hear something, some sort of commotion, an alarm get raised, we make all hell break loose out on the dock. Okay.
Oh, I'm good at that.
All right. I don't think you're gonna like this, and I apologize. But I think if we're gonna be standing out there, we have to look convincing, and I don't think you'd be hiring me.
I don't. What are you trying to say?
Saying you might have to be a lady of the night.
Ooh.
All right.
Cornelia!
I was just like, look at Cornelia. I'm like, It's fine. I did it before. Remember, Rezik? We did it before together.
Yeah, that's true. We were both ladies of the night.
What?
Yeah, we sure was.
And then, Dresden, just to be very clear, when you say like kind of create a lot of chaos, you're not saying like fight. You mean more of like just make some noise and then probably get the hell, make a distraction. Not like start fighting anybody, right?
No, we'll
Or is
start
it fight people?
cutting heads off if that's what it takes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
we could use a thunder wave or 6. Yeah, no, I'm talking absolute chaos.
If we hear
Good, okay.
thunder wave, then we'll know to attack people.
No,
Yo,
you guys are getting out. No
We're
matter
always sneaky, no matter
what.
what.
Always going away, right?
yeah. So let's say like they're A team or B team. A team is going to make a distraction for us if they have to. B team's only mission is to get the hell out of there with Pup. That's all we're
Right.
trying to do.
And
No
you
matter
guys
what.
are gonna keep us informed as best you can about what's going on, right?
We're gonna
Yeah.
have to lift them. Can you lift them, Rezik or Killwise?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah, I can get Pup. Yeah, not that big.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right, so you guys leave in that long hallway of rooms. You see another pair of guests. A nicer dressed sailor, pretty drunk, with a handsome looking man. A lady of the night. A gentleman of the night, we'll call him. They go to a room well into the back of the seasick whale and cut into a room. For the most part, there's a lot of commotion happening in the taverns. Not a lot of happening in these back streets, although you do see a few of those urchins just kind of walking around. And a lot of them have pretty shifty eyes. Dresden, you've seen this 1,000 times on your watch. People just waiting to see someone a little too drunk kind of makes the wrong move and their purse goes missing.
Sure. All right. We ready?
Do it.
All right, you guys head down a ways, find a spot you can make some ice, get on it, and trust you and I. We're headed towards the dock.
All right.
And in this-
I disguise self, and I basically I disguise self to look like a halfling, but I put on my ball outfit that was like the super sexy like pantsuit and heels.
Okay, yeah. Your power suit with heels.
Yeah.
And
You
then
make that pose a few times.
we are dressed. We're trying to like look like the B team's trying to look like sailors, right? Like kind of like grubby sailors.
Yeah.
That was
well,
the decision. Okay.
Kellwise looks like a sailor.
I've got the look going
Cool.
on. You did me
So I'll
up.
just make sure that. Yeah.
James,
Take my makeup off.
how weird would it be if I were in my armor with a cloak over it? Would that be out of place or not?
It would definitely be hard to hide the armor fully
Yeah.
because you just have some bulk to you. There have been a few people you've seen that look pretty tough, have been wearing armor, some gruff-looking men in this district, so it wouldn't be completely out of sorts. You've seen a few people who look... the difference is maybe your armor is very, very nice. It's
Right.
well maintained. It would be, something that most people could never in their wildest dreams afford. But if
Yeah.
you kept a cloak around it, for the most part, you wouldn't be able to see the
Okay.
quality of the armor, just that you had it on.
All right, I'll do that then.
Okay. So yeah, Dresden dons his full plate. The three of you go out to the dockside. Trust and Dresden, you are a interesting looking pair, to say the least.
Sure.
Dresden in this big cloak with bulky pauldrons coming out, and Trust, you have a giant fiery bedazzled pantsuit.
Yeah, I'll grab the tankard or whatever.
When was it bedazzled? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And so Kellwise and Rezik, you guys, and with Cornelia, you guys head to the dock. And there's a lot of little, almost stations set up next to the other docks. There's a lot of little docks, none nearly as big as that giant wharf that the Alistar ship is encompassing. But there's a lot of those, and you notice that these little docking stations, they have lots of dark corners and just shadows that you could easily hide in and then just dip yourself into the water. And there are ladders every once in a while to get up onto the dockside from the water. So it wouldn't be too terribly hard to get yourself into the water.
Okay. Yeah, and so I then would want to find a dark corner, get us
yeah,
down toward the
you
water, and
all-
create a 5x5 section of ice, just right on the water, right on top of the water.
Okay. So the three of you kind of get into the water, grab this freezing chunk of ocean,
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna paddle out towards the boat?
Dreams of ice cubes. And yeah, I figured I would use my ability to control water and kind of push us along, kind of gently glide us along as if we were in a small boat.
Okay, yeah. So Kel, as you now being completely in the water, you can feel the currents flowing around you, and you reach into the slipstream. Give me
Aren't they trying to float on top of it? I thought it was trying to make like a little sort of ice boat, so they weren't wet when they got there.
Yeah, like mostly
I
on
don't know
top
if
of
it's
it.
Possible. I thought that
on
was
top.
the plan.
It might be hard for you all to sit. Like, there's probably not enough buoyancy for you guys to sit. The three of you sit on top of the ice without it just sinking into the water.
Gotcha. We got like a Titanic situation happening with like, is this not enough?
A little bit, yeah.
That door was big.
You could easily like.
We all know it, okay?
I mean, it's a
All right,
5 by 5 by 5 cube, though, right? So that would be pretty buoyant. That's like a small iceberg.
It would be pretty hard to balance on top of if it was that deep.
Can he shape it like a sweet ass boat?
Roll me a
like-
d20.
Yeah,
Roll me a
can
d20
I shape it like a
with-
boat? Why
roll
can't I
me
shape
a-
Yeah.
Yeah, or like just like a concave.
But that's not a 5 by 5 by
concave
5
convex.
cube.
Okay. Scratch that. I make us a friggin' ice boat. A boat that's shaped like a boat made out of ice. That's roughly 5 feet long and roughly
Okay.
4 feet wide.
Roll me a survival check.
17.
A 17. So you make this boat, and you guys are kind of huddled inside it. It's not easy to maneuver. All
Just
kind of.
sit in it,
I mean, the
you're like-
three of you are kind of just like clumped together. You guys basically have to hug each other in this space.
Slide to the middle.
I've never been closer to you two. Mm.
Yeah, and Rezik looks like just like humongous comparatively.
Sorry it's cold, but you know, it's gonna do.
No, this is great. This is great. Thank you. And I'll make the image of I'll use silent image and make the image of like just kind of like we're just looking like we're just some loose driftwood or whatever. Like what was it again? Was it driftwood or seaweed? I forget what we're doing.
Seaweed's
Like
great,
some-
actually.
some-
I thought
yeah, some just
driftwood, but
loose-
seaweed is genius.
Loose seaweed on just drifting on the water. Just a big patch of seaweed. Yeah.
And how long does this last?
It will last 10 minutes. So I'll do it like when I feel like it's the appropriate amount of time to get over there.
Okay.
I'll kind of time it out.
Well-
I'll time it out.
Well, so you start moving. Kelwise, roll me a d20 just to, as you start to try and use the ocean's currents to propel yourself along.
Do I add anything to it?
Your proficiency.
That's 18.
18. So yeah, you start to move pretty well in this in the ocean, staying pretty close to the dock side so that people up on the dock just don't see you kind of putting your way down the side. And when you get within maybe 100 feet, there's like really no shadows left to move your boat into, your little ice boat. You pretty much have to like go out because the boat itself is far away from the wharf and you're coming from the starboard side, which is open. It's pretty much just open water. So Rezik, you probably have to hit it then.
All right. Yeah. I'll do it then.
Do your
Great.
thing.
Okay. And as you start to move, you make yourself look like kelp. That's just kind of moving through the water. And you do notice there's one man pretty high up on the dock, just kind of looking around at the ocean, straight on your side. And as you guys kind of move across his vision, his eyes seem to look just a little higher and a little farther past you. It doesn't seem like he's looking at you as you kind of float your way across this giant open water, kind of to the back of this boat, this large vessel. And you guys kind of enter the shadow of the back of the boat.
Okay, first step.
It's getting real. Getting real now. This is getting real. All right. So yeah, we'll get the rope out and we'll start doing our thing with our mage hands, and hopefully this works.
Okay, Cornelia, roll a sleight of hand check.
Are you gonna tie it up at the top of the deck of the ship to another rope, or are you going to tie it lower, kind of where we could get into the windows?
Ooh, good question. Well, I think they were saying that those weren't open, right? They're all closed. All those
The portals for the
cannon views?
cannons. I don't know if the windows were all closed, or maybe if there were windows.
All the
that were open.
windows
I don't
are
think we talked about that.
closed.
Okay.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it looks like
yeah, yeah.
As far
we're gonna
as
have
you
to
can
get all the way
see.
up to the deck.
Literally, the only place to tie it or that's open is on the deck.
Well,
that
there's a
we can see.
there's a few places you could tie it. Here, probably the top would be the safest, as far as safety of the line itself. But
Yeah.
you could try and tie it a whole bunch of. There are some like hooks or decorative kind of carvings and such in the back of this boat. Especially around the windows, some flourishes made of metal.
I think before I put my mage hand up there, I'll just listen for a moment to see if I hear talking or anything at the back of the ship, and then
Sure,
tie
roll a
it where
perception.
it seems safe. So
Good
perception
thinking.
ends up being
That's fine.
I think it ends up being a dirty 20. Yeah, dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You do hear a few voices coming from the back of the ship. It's nothing too loud, and it seems like just two people kind of shooting the shit on the boat. You hear vaguely something about griping about not being able to have shore leave, having to watch. It's a little bit of just two guys complaining. It doesn't sound particularly close, but you can definitely hear it coming from somewhere on the ship. On the
Hey,
back
guys.
half of the ship.
I hear people up there. Should I?
Maybe distract them first. Can someone make a sound on the other side of the ship? Get them away from
Yeah,
the
I can make the sound of just like maybe just like a little, just like a little
Little splash.
Yeah, like a splash.
piece of, like a little. Well, yeah. I'll make a little splash if you want.
Or maybe
but
like
really
a wood,
far away from us.
Maybe just like a wood
Yeah, yeah.
creaking on the other side of the ship, maybe.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah,
Just a
okay.
small creak. Because we don't want to
yeah,
make
yeah.
them too alert either.
Yeah, I'll make just a very small creek on the other side. Think I can do it 30 feet away, so it's pretty good.
You remember this
all right,
boat's
yeah.
like maybe 150 feet long.
Ooh, gotcha. I can only do it 30 feet, unfortunately. Is that okay with you guys, or should I not do that?
I don't know. We could probably like shoot an arrow further than that specifically.
Yeah. We can probably toss a rock or something further than that, right? So,
Yeah.
okay. I got a few Kelwise, you're pretty good with this kind of stuff. Go ahead and either fire an arrow or throw a rock as far as you can.
Oh.
You're not here. You're not here. I can't look at your face right now. I'm gonna turn your video off.
Oh.
Turn Cullen off.
I can shoot an arrow. I wouldn't. I'd have to aim for the water, and I'd have to just kind of try to arc it so
I
it.
feel like you shouldn't throw
lands.
an arrow. I think it should
I wouldn't
be.
throw it. I would shoot it.
I wouldn't shoot an arrow. Do you think maybe they're watching for that, and that would be?
Okay, guys.
Can you maybe use your water ability to make a splash somewhere and not throw an object?
Can't make a splash somewhere. Not far away is the issue. I mean, I
Okay,
could literally throw a rock.
Guys. All right, Cornelia, how far away do they sound? Do they sound like they're super close to us right now?
Well, I heard they were complaining, so it seems pretty close if I can hear what they were saying.
Okay. Then, if you feel like it's necessary, go ahead and maybe toss a rock as far as you can. So maybe they'll hear a splash and go that direction. It's up to you guys.
The DM may have said
Don't-
something along those lines.
Don't allow any outside sources like myself to make your decision for you. Go ahead and whatever you want to do it.
How do I turn off Cullen's video?
Right.
Come on, Nick, we have to go quick here, guys. Come on, what do you want to do?
All right, I got it. I'm gonna take one of my ball bearings because I have like 1,000, and I'm just gonna throw it. We're facing the back of the ship. I'm going to throw it starboard and toward the bow as far as I can.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm going to be bringing.
Well,
the
you're
rope
behind the ship, so you'd have to come out quite a ways to be able to throw it. Like you'd have to angle-wise, you could throw it like way off, like at a at a 45-degree angle off towards the dock on the other side.
That'll work. Let's
Okay.
see if it goes.
Roll a dexterity check, or an attack. So add proficiency and dexterity.
That's a natural 20 plus 6.
Okay, so you throw it and you hear a kapunk on the other side, and you listen. You don't hear much from up on top of the ship. No more. The complaining doesn't really continue.
Doesn't continue.
No, not as far as you can hear.
Oh.
All right, well, that's all we can really do. We gotta go, guys. Yeah, just
All
we gotta
right.
get going. So,
I'm going to do it. I'm bringing the rope up.
all right.
Hopefully it's dark enough.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand.
Uh, 8.
An 8. Okay, so the rope goes up, you secure it to the top of the line, and you tie it off at the top.
I'm gonna check to make sure that it's feeling strong.
Feels pretty sturdy.
Tight. I've done all I can do. All right, I guess we're gonna go up now.
Do I feel confident with what I did? Could I feel that
It's
I
hard to
rolled,
tell. I mean, you did
or
your
that I
best. You
a
did your
poor job?
earnestly. You did your best to tie it up on the. Yeah, you feel like
All
you did a
right.
pretty good
It feels-
job. I mean, you
it's
tugged on the
feeling,
rope.
It's
and it
feeling
comes-
strong. Let's go.
I'm gonna go first. I'll go first, guys.
Okay, roll an
right.
athletics check.
I'm using different dice. Oh my god. 7.
So you start to climb the rope, and the side of the boat is surprisingly slippery. So you start to climb up this, you get your feet on, you take 2 steps, and then over the side of it as you're just staying in this place, your feet not catching purchase, and then you just kind of let go and hang and just lower yourself back down slowly.
Maybe someone else should go first.
Did that make a lot of noise right now? All the
Yeah, it made
that
some
she did
sound.
apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Not a lot of noise, but it made some noise. Definitely.
All right. Should we just try?
I can't be trusted in these
all right.
situations. I roll so poor, guys. Why?
All right, let me give it a shot. Acrobatics?
Yeah.
Or athletics?
Maybe we should
Athletics.
Well,
Athletics.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, it's a 6.
Exact same scenario happens. And you hear a.
Yeah, we should definitely move.
You hear something
We should
like
get out of
a-
here.
What the hell?
It's really hard to climb
You,
up this rope.
you see a shadow. Now you guys are underneath the back of that, the back of the ship, right? So you're kind of tucked underneath, but you see a shadow from the moonlight over the dock. You see someone's head kind of pop up.
I'm going to use
around.
Phantasmal Force when I see their head.
Okay. Does that have somatic components?
It has just a bit of fleece.
There's no somatic components?
Oh, yeah. So S, somatic, right?
Yeah.
A bit of fleece. Oh,
Well,
sorry,
no,
that's the
that's
material.
material.
Oh, somatic. Yeah, sorry. Somatic is
Verbal.
like doing hand signs. Yeah.
No, verbal.
Well, verbal's verbal.
Oh no, sorry. Somatic.
Verbal,
Somatic
not
is
verbal.
somatic is
Leap
hands.
related.
Verbal is verbal.
Oh.
Is,
Verbal is verbal. Yeah.
Are there any verbal components?
Yeah.
That's
It
what I meant
has
to
it
ask.
has both, but can I try to not?
So
Say
unfortunately,
it super
like,
loud?
unfortunately,
You can never
magic
do a spell?
in this
Okay.
realm, if it has a verbal
Okay.
component, it's something you can't do silently.
The spells are not possible. Okay. All right. We can't do that. All right. So yeah, we can we try to hide underneath the illusion that I have right now then instead?
I mean, you guys are underneath. Like, you can't even see this guy from where you're at because you're in the shadow of the back of the boat. So you just see the shadow of a guy's head pop up, like way off on the blanket of the water, and he kind of looks.
Maybe we should just hold
For a
still.
long time. And then you see his head kind of pop back from other railings.
We're still disguised, Rezek. Shh.
And you're still under that illusion of the, the kelp.
Should we pick a different spot, maybe?
Wait. Maybe. But while we're here, is the rudder right in front of us?
Well, the rudder is a little bit below you. It's in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, the mechanism to steer the rudder is... I mean, yes, it's there, but you see it's like a huge fin, and the actual steering mechanism of the rudder goes into the back of the ship in the slot and then up. So it's just like a big fin, basically, at this point.
Yeah. I remember Dresden saying, if we could disable this, the boat pretty much can't turn. Pretty much can't go anywhere. So if we can't get onto the boat, we should at least disable this so the boat can't go anywhere.
We should focus on mission 1, and then if we can do mission 2, that would be great, Kel.
Okay.
But right now we got to focus on mission 1. So let's go try to sneak around the other side and do this
while
again.
we're here, maybe we can stick something in there.
I'm
like
saying is, while we're here, if there's anything we can do, this is the time. Yeah.
Well, they can also make noise and alert them, Kelways, so we got to be careful. But it's, you know, we already have made noise a lot, so.
So no one has a silent way to break a rudder in half, is what you're saying.
Nope.
Okay.
Mm.
That makes sense.
All right, so let's go to the other side and try to do this.
Rezek, if I put the anchor necklace on the rudder, do you think it would anchor the whole boat?
It might have to be on someone's neck to use it. I'm not sure.
Is it the necklace itself, or is it? Do you do something with the necklace?
The DM knows the answer to that.
DM, would I know as a spellcaster if you use a magical item like that, if you activate it and leave it somewhere, will it stay active, or does it have to be worn by the user the whole time?
It depends on the magic item. It could go either way.
Well, we haven't tested it any other way other than it being on me and me making it happen.
Yeah, so just visualize, when you stopped the boat with your anchor necklace, I mean, what did you do? You kind of held on to it, you imagined something solid.
I imagined a mountain.
And then you almost used your awareness to open it up and engulf the ship, which was pretty hard. Yeah. So you're pretty sure if you were to take the necklace off, it would lose your intent. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So we have a net. Is the net that we have, would it be, can we wrap it around this thing where it would entangle it in some way?
Or even extra rope. Maybe we could tie it.
You could try and tie it, but this thing is very, very large. It might just rip through your net. If you made a really thick rope tie, possibly, but even then, the amount of torque this thing pulls is incredible.
All right. I'm looking at them, and they're both trying to decide on this, and I'm just like, you guys, we have to move. I only have a little while more of the spell. We got to go.
Yeah, we need to move, and then I think this will be the last resort. It's going to make noise, so we'll have to disable it when we're out, and they can't follow us after we get pup. I think that's when I can maybe do catapult, and we'll ruin it and go from there. So let's try to do more sneaky
Well,
things.
you know catapult
Ooh.
throws like an object, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the
It won't
object
hurt.
you throw, I mean, it might ding it, but it's not going to be enough force to break the rudder off of the
It
back
won't
of
give
a
enough damage
giant
for that.
boat.
Oh
No.
shoot!
Not even close.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be like
let's figure it
throwing.
out.
That would be like
Let's-
trying to throw
you
a
guys-
pebble hard enough at a building to knock over the wall.
Yeah, let's
I wasn't
just
sure.
focus on plan. Let's just focus on plan 1, and then we'll do plan 2 if we can. All right. So let's go. All right. Gotta get safe pup.
Okay.
But if like I think it's 5 or 10 pounds, you can flick at them. That wouldn't hurt it.
Destroy
if
the
I
rudder
flicked yeah.
on a 150.
It wouldn't
foot boat.
cause like because it's what 3d8. How? All right, that's fine. I
I
believe
mean,
it.
that rudder probably withstands like 100 tons of force. Like when
Yeah.
it
Think
fucking
so?
pushes a 150-foot boat. You
There's
know
no
what I mean?
weak point to it. There's nothing at
The
all.
ropes that connect the wheel to the rudder are the weak point.
There might be a mechanism inside the boat that moves the rudder that would be weaker, a point of failure, but from outside the boat, it's probably not possible. I mean, you could probably hack it down over a long period of time with the right tools, but I mean, that's, maybe an hour of beating it with an axe.
Gosh. All right.
All right, let's move around to the side and try this again.
All right.
Okay, are you moving? What side are you moving to?
Whichever one's
We're
darker.
gonna try, to go to just another dark corner of the ship and hopefully find somewhere that's safe for us to go
realistically,
up.
the starboard side is fully open to the water in the moonlight, but the port side has the dock right there, and there was all those guys on the dock. And the front of the ship equally is basically just out in the open.
So this is probably the best place we could do this.
I mean, as far as spaces to climb up this ship, this might be the only non-open face. Now, you could climb up the starboard side, and maybe no one on the ship would see you, but anyone walking along the dock side or in the salt district would see somebody climbing up the side of this boat from pretty far away.
I mean, Rezik, you didn't give the rope a shot. Maybe you need to give the rope a shot.
Like try to get it up there again, or what do you mean?
Oh, the rope's
just-
up there. No, try to climb it. Maybe you'll
Oh.
have better luck.
All right. Okay.
And then maybe you can
Yeah,
pull
I'm
us up.
gonna go ahead and
Okay,
gonna
roll
go
me
ahead
an
and try.
athletics check.
Stop it, Cullen.
Come
okay.
on, Rezik.
it is 20 dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You managed to climb up. Now, you did this in the commission. You had to climb ropes without using a wall. So you tie your feet to this rope. You put one foot on top of the other and use the leverage, and you climb up this rope.
Just
And
hearing
you-
Dresden's voice, "Climb, soldier, climb!" Just in my back of my
and
head.
at the very, very end, you start to hold on, but you feel something slip. You get to the very top of this deck, and then whoosh, the rope unties itself, and you just find yourself hanging by one hand on the edge of this ship. And you kind of look under you, and you're right next to this window, and you see this large dark room inside there, and you're just hanging at the top of the ship. What do you do?
Okay, I'm gonna hand. Oh, yes.
And you guys at the bottom see the rope just go into the water.
Fuck. Stupid somatic.
Yeah, can we catch it
Okay.
before it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just let it go down to them
Okay.
and then climb up.
All right. So you pull yourself just above the line, and you see.
Or no,
men.
wait, no. I'm gonna tie it around my waist. I'm gonna like tuck it in my pants as much as I possibly can, and then use my other hand to go up.
Okay. So
Love
you
it.
kind of tuck the end into your pants, right next to your coin purse, and then you lift yourself up just enough to see, and you see two men near the helm, just sitting around, talking to each other. And now at this point, because of your vantage, you can hear them grumbling. Both of them sound a little intoxicated. at this point, slurring their words a little bit. Like, you just hear this conversation, and it's really one-sided. One man just kind of stares off into the ethos, and the other man kind of, I never get shore leave in any of the big cities. It's only when I have to stay on the small, stupid places that I get to do any of this stuff. Right? Really, it's
So if they're not looking at me while this is happening, I'm gonna try to like tie it firmly to that side of the boat, and then tell them to get up here.
So you snug the line much better than last time, and you make sure it's triple knotted up there as you're just kind of hanging at the edge.
Well, yeah, I don't want to ruin this, but dang it. Yeah, I'm hanging out the edge.
Okay, and you find like a good, like you get a good arm up. There's a pretty big lip that you can kind of get your arm up onto, so you're pretty solid on the edge. You're not just like hanging by your nails or anything like that. And he ties it. What are the two of you doing down below?
We're gonna climb up. It says to come up.
Gotta try it again.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cornelia, roll me in athletics.
Just regular.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
But she learned so much from the last time.
19.
A 19. So Cornelia, you
Come on.
you're like,
Come on, Gilwis.
not using this boat again as vantage. There's less grip than just trying to climb up myself. And because you're pretty light, you scamper up to the top. Take a vantage point next to Rezik. Kelwise.
Come on, Gil.
Yeah, that's a 10. So a little
10.
bit better than last time.
Kelwise, you start to climb, and then you slide down just a little bit, and then you climb up a little bit more, and then slide down, and it takes you a great long time of... It's like the rope is maybe 3 or 4 times as long as it needs to be, because you just keep going back down, and then back up, and then back down, but you manage to get to the top, and you're just... You're totally out of breath as you get to the top of this thing, and you're just holding on.
All right, can we try
And that's
to
when
find
you
some
guys
barrels
hear
or...
a sound. Very official. Hey! What are you doing there? And that's what we'll pick up next week.
It's okay. He's not talking to us. He's not talking to us.
Who's he talking to?
You can
all of that.
hope.
Oh man.
I swear
Hello,
to God.
people at home. Thank you
Hey,
so much.
just one question. Were we able to sort of position ourselves around
Yes.
front a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, both you guys roll me a performance check.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you...
Us?
Yeah, trust. I want to see how convincing you are as a tiefling of the night.
That's 7.
A 7.
Oh, it's alright, laddie. I've got a 23.
Yeah.
I'm just
So,
doing a lot
It's
of
Dresden's
standing.
first one.
Yeah.
This time.
Trust you use all that beautiful, uncomfortable emotion. All like you're like the best improv partner ever because Dresden's not giving you anything and you're running with it.
Yeah.
Dresden's
been, like,
just,
waiting all week to give him this kind of a
uncomfortably.
tough time.
Also, I'm getting intense pleasure from watching him fail at this at the same time, which just makes me even better at it.
Yeah, and you notice something, Trust. You notice a severe... Dresden might not be scared of fire spider head scary monsters.
Not to
But-
be honest.
Intimacy, you see that. There's a little fear back there.
Oh wait.
Just intimacy.
Been
just
there, done that.
might be his
yeah.
weakness. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
It's even
Thank you,
higher. She's
everyone.
like a
Wow.
26.
Oh my God.
Wow, indeed. Good job.
I like the
nail biter.
We will.
A nail biter the entire time.
I'd
Dude,
not from that rope.
stealth missions are
Probably should have died
intense.
nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. I regret being a rogue, man.
Yeah, because stealth missions are tough because it's a lot of like all or nothing, right? If you're like a
I
fighter,
know,
you're like,
literally,
yeah,
if
sometimes
you-
I hit, sometimes
yeah.
I miss, but I usually kill my prey. And stealth is like,
Yeah.
if I mess up once, the whole mission is different.
Turns to
I'm
murder.
gonna have a heart attack, man. Oh my
I know
God.
poor
Ah.
Bobby's like, nah.
Oh man, I love the crying Dresden with sunglasses.
It's
emote.
amazing. I love
Their
it's my
sunglasses
favorite
help
one.
so much. It's just
My
like,
favorite one.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm cool.
What? I didn't say anything, man.
I'm just sweating.
I mean, I think we saw the source of why Dresden's been so upset lately. He loves Pup. That's the reason. This is all
He
because he
does.
loves Pup and he's worried.
All because of Pup.
All because of
Maybe.
Pup, baby.
Maybe.
He's been a little different since Pup's left, you know? Pup softens us all up.
Yeah, I do like the Pathfinder's group checks thing tangent. It works out really nicely.
Oh, don't get him started
sometimes,
talking about Pathfinder. We'll be here for another hour. We'll be here for another hour.
I was just gonna say, but we don't have time to go into Pathfinder Second Edition.
That's for DM office hours.
DM office hours, which
exactly.
will happen again someday, just
It
not
will.
this week.
I have
Tomorrow
a-
we will have a rerun at 9 a.m.
This time, James, we actually won't. And I'm sorry about last week, but this time we actually won't. I'm gonna be really busy tomorrow, so I can't run it, unfortunately. But hopefully the following week.
Unless Cornelia wants to run it, or at least just start it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll do it.
I can start it, but I
It
can't run
might
it. 'Cause I
happen.
will be. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah, no, maybe just start it or something. I don't know. We may
Yeah.
we may be on. I don't know.
I
what's
will
happening.
start it. It will be started.
It'll start. We'll all be hopping in and out of work to maybe check in on
Yeah,
chat.
to
We'll
say
see.
hi to everybody.
But other than that, we will not be back on Friday because I have another wedding. There's too many people getting married this year.
Yeah.
Too
Don't
many.
do it.
Stop getting
Not-
married.
no.
Don't do it.
No.
Stop
Everyone.
getting married.
I already delayed it once, James. Calm down.
Don't do it, Daye.
Don't
It's
do it.
not in for a year. It'll be fine.
Thank you.
Before we
man.
Trust-
sign off, though, James, I want to say great job tonight.
Yeah.
Great job.
Good job.
Great job.
Yeah, James.
This is a
All the
story.
questions,
We're telling a
all the
story.
He's doing a
NPCs.
sandwich.
I loved
He's doing
it.
the compliment sandwich.
Both
This is
you
what we
said-
call it.
oh,
You compliment,
go
and then
on,
you say
Cullen.
something
Fun.
really honest, and then you add a compliment at the end. And it's,
Yeah.
you guys won't
What's-
hear the honesty.
What's the
'cause he's too
tomato?
kind.
What's
I'll
the
let that, I'll let
tomato?
that happen
Cullen?
off stream.
You did a great job. You've had something in your teeth the entire night, but you did so good. At the end.
Wow, you're really pretty, despite the clothes you're wearing. Very pretty,
Just so pretty. Oh my
despite your
God.
fashion
If you just
sense.
tried a little
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, good job tonight. The tension
Oh.
was palpable.
Actually, I have the same sweater.
I just gotta watch
James,
Bobby's
I have
our
the same
meter.
sweater you're wearing.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
It's a hoodie from
I
Gap.
no, I did.
Oh.
We
It
threw
was
it out
from-
because
It's
it
pretty
was
old.
so last
Yeah.
year.
Don't-
So
Oh wow.
Not important. Not important.
Anyway,
Oh.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go raid
Yeah, you
somebody
guys
else.
are
But
great.
thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back next Tuesday to find out what happens on this ship at 7 p.m. Pacific.
God.
But until then, please take care of yourself and take care of each other, and we will see you next week. Good night.
bye. Thank you so much. Sweet dreams.
good night.
I'm so-